Practically the entire league is injured. We've got the injury boards up here in case anybody has been out of the loop. All these injuries. Deebo out multiple weeks. We've got 6 to 8 weeks for Pacheco. We've got multiple weeks for A.J. Brown. We've got IR probably in store for Cooper Kupp. So 4-5 weeks for Cooper Kupp. 5 to 7 weeks for Puka Nacua. We've got Christian McCaffrey out maybe 6 to 8 weeks. We'll find out more as we move through the remaining, the next couple of weeks. And we've got a buy low show for you today. Buy before week number 3 kicks off. The impact of the Tua Tagovailoa to IR. The impact to Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane. That piece is coming after the buy low segment. So for anybody who says, is this live? Is this live? Is this show live? I'm only live every single day, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. So if anybody asks, is this live? Tell them to take a lap in the chat. Here we go. I give you the week 3 buy low segment. This is pre-recorded. And then I come back and we do the live show. Okay, so here you go. Enjoy and dominate. Go make some trades. Go make sure you're doing all of these things to help make your team better and to navigate some of these injuries. Here are your buy lows for week number 3. Let's do some buy low shopping, shall we? Walking into week number 3, we've had 2 weeks of play where people are going to freak out. Freak out Freddies everywhere going, but Smitty, I don't understand. Mahomes has had 2 bad games in a row. Mahomes is 2-0. Mahomes is 2-0. He's got the best arsenal of weaponry, maybe in the entire National Football League. And you're complaining about that he doesn't have the points you want after 2 weeks. Let me tell you something. Every year, absolute monsters could be quiet for even 4 weeks, even 5 weeks. I've seen people go dormant for 6 weeks, and I'm still buy low. There are players you know will come around. There are players that have no red flags like this man right here. And we're going to talk about not only these 2 quarterbacks, but wide receivers, running backs, maybe a tight end. We're going to break down the best players to go get walking into week number 12. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no bigger, better buy low than Patrick Mahomes. You can keep saying, Smitty, you said this for 2 weeks in a row now. I don't know that I believe you. I'm going to put little AR5 down here in the corner because we're discussing this man right here, Patty Mahomes. Now, you can get on board this train if you want. You don't have to. I'd be more than happy to show you the results later. But Patrick Mahomes is going to explode. And if you want to know my process here, and a lot of it's gut instinct, a lot of it's data driven. I'm not some kind of data Donnie that just sits there with my Excel sheet like Excel sheet Eric and just this is what it is because the data says so. Football is 17 games. Fantasy football is 17 games of where a player can go from being a bench guy to a top 5 running back in the final 6 weeks of the season. Fantasy football is a very strange, this is not baseball. It's a very strange sport of gut instinct does drive a lot of it. An eye test and everything. You got to be able to say, okay, I think there's an anomaly here. My eye test is fine. My gut tells me this, and the data might say something else, but the data can be wrong more than your gut or eye test can be if you fine-tuned it like we have here on the Fantasy Football Show. So here we are looking at this thing and we say, okay, what red flags do we have? 0. There are no red flags. There are no red flags explaining why he has had mediocre week 1 and week 2 games. You could say, well, last year he had a mediocre season, but they won the Super Bowl. And that doesn't count for fantasy football regular season. I get it. But my point being that this guy is an absolute monster. And I know there are a lot of people in the comments. I know those people are reactive Rogers, but in the comments right after the game, we went live and people said things like he's cooked. He's not the same. Mahomes is average. He's mediocre. There are no red flags for this man. There are only green flags. We've got one of the best sets of arsenal weaponry this man's ever touched. And he hasn't even used it yet. He hasn't deployed it yet. It's like having a submarine, a nuclear submarine with like 5 to 7 torpedo doors that are closed and only one is opened. Only one torpedo door has been opened and ready for launch. He's only used one. That's the way it feels with Patrick Mahomes. That's the best way to describe it. But I'm telling you, once all 5 or 7 torpedo doors open and all these teams start feeling 7 laser locks on them, Mahomes is going to unleash holy hell, and you're going to want to be along for the ride. 3-4 TD games are coming. Mahomes is the best buy low. And if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter because you're buying him at seller dweller pricing. You're getting him exactly where he's scoring right now. That's what buy low means. Buy low, sell high. That's how you win during the season. You can draft as good as you can draft. Then you get injuries. Then you get whatever. Players play bad. You need to dominate the in season to be a well-rounded manager. And this is what we're talking about right here. The buying low of a player at a price tag that even if he fails you and you end up being wrong, I end up being wrong, you still win a league because the rest of your team's firing off and he's doing what he's supposed to do, not what you expect him to do. Buy low. My QB1 moving forward from weeks 3 through 17. Doesn't matter what anybody's done from weeks 1 and 2. Stop saying, well, what about week 1 and 2? Are you trading for week 1 and week 2's points? Or are you going from week 3 to week 17 like I am? Yay, we did it, week 1. It's week 1 right now, everyone. Week 1. This guy just did amazing. Not a very good day for AR5 today. That was what we endured as a fantasy football community. A very big high. Yeah, week 1, he looks amazing. Week 2, he had a bad game. Now, here's week 3. You, right now, questioning whether this man has the capability because of one outing, one bad game. He's still practically a rookie. He's still going through what is essentially his rookie year. He had played probably 4 full games, and we're judging him and acting like he can't be a little off once in a while. I mean, through week 1, he was a top 4 quarterback. Through week 2, he falls out. JD5 was a top 4 quarterback through week 1. Now, JD5 is getting questioned because he didn't throw any touchdown passes, but he keeps running them in, doesn't he? These guys have protected in floor value, JD5 and AR5. And you can put JD5 on this list too if you want to buy. But AR5 to me is still a league winner. And the fact that he had a bad game puts a smile on my face because now I can go buy a top 4 to 5 quarterback outside the top 5. I suggest you do as well. And while on the topic of this man and KC, let's say that we go buy low on this man. Everywhere, because I'm going to tell you something right now. This might make you uncomfortable. You might, at the risk of you unsubscribing right now and going, this guy's a wild man, just an absolute crazy wild man. This guy could be a top 12 wide receiver going forward. That means he's a low-end wide receiver 1, or you could say transitioning to a high-end, super high-end, the best wide receiver 2 you can find. Coming out of week 1, he was everybody's hero. Same thing as AR5. Oh my God, we're the best. We called it. Oh my. Week 2, nothing. Oh my God, do I put him on the bench? Who do I start at my 4th or 5th flex spot? Worthy or this guy, Cellar Dweller Donnie? A lot of people are so fickle and up and down and reactive. He was amazing in week 1. Now walking into week number 3, you're contemplating putting him on the bench at your flex 4-5 for Cellar Dweller Donnies. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. Where is the commitment level of everybody right now on this man? Where's the commitment level? Because all 3 of these guys are going to eat. They're going to be league winners at the cost of entry, the trade value cost of entry. League winner. Wouldn't be shocked if this man has 2 touchdowns in week 3. 1 running, 1 receiving, and everybody's crawling back into the worthy train. Can I still get on board this train, Smitty? And I'm going to say no. I don't think you're going to steal him away from anybody. I don't think anybody's so reactive that they don't think he's a running back 1. Plus the investment of drafting him high, everyone's going to be like, no, I can't send him off packing for a second round type player. But you never know. You could go to Uncle Bob or Uncle Bud in the family league. They might do it. But Bijan is not playing bad. He's getting great yards per rip. He's doing everything he's asked to do. He's not getting in the end zone, which isn't his fault. I think it'll come. I think Kirk Cousins having a nice little finish to the end of week 2, coming back in that nice comeback win. I think that might spark the offense to score more. They need to score more. Drake London needs to score more. He finally pulled in a TD pass to win the game, Drake London. So we're excited about what momentum that can carry into the remaining weeks. But we need to see touchdown production. I get it. We all know it. And I think it comes. And I'm going to buy low as best I can on Bijan because he's getting elite volume. Just not touchdowns. They will come. Gibbs hasn't had that huge day yet, that monster day. And when it happens, everyone will ignore every trade offer they ever get for the regular season, for the rest of the 2024 season. Like one big game is going to erase all doubt, I promise you. So there's an opportunity, a very, very, like Bijan, a small door opening to try and come in and trade for this guy on the cheap, but I don't know how long that'll last. I don't know if it'll last one more week. Amon-Ra St. Brown banged up, but he should be fine in playing. This is a team that needs to get the ball rolling. They need to run the football. They need to make sure they dominate and balance out the pass by running the hell out of the ball. And Monty, keep in mind, Monty is getting older and he could wear down and break down, and this guy could be starting by himself for half of a season or something like that. I'm not saying trade Monty or give up on Monty. I'm just merely saying that situations change and we're getting hit with a lot of injuries. Everybody over the age of 25 in the NFL right now is on borrowed time according to the injury report. And who knows what in the hell happens, but I'll say this, even if Monty doesn't get hurt, I don't even care. That's not even factored into this, really. I'm just trying to tell you that I could see at some point people going, oh, man, now that Monty's down, well, and then you can't buy him is what I'm trying to say. Even if he hadn't played, amazingly yet, go strike now before something like that changes the landscape. But I'm telling you, even if Monty stays healthy all year, his day's coming. He's not in a running back by committee. He's got his own little compartmentalized role no matter what happens. You don't really want him getting 17 weeks of all of the volume anyway. If he gets 8 weeks of it because Monty goes down mid-season or something, I'm fine with that. But I don't mind him starting off a little slower so he can just take off like he did last year. Keep in mind how good Gibbs was in 2023 with a very slow start. I would say I wouldn't even call it a slow start. I would say it was a non-existent beginning of his career. He was not used in week 1, 2, 3, 4, out week 5, out week 6, and he's still just playing week 7 on. Was a top 10 running back with 11 touchdowns, and he was tied for first for top 3 running back finishes with 6 of them with Christian McCaffrey. Off of playing only week 7 on. I'm not saying I want that. I'm not trying to tell you that he's not going to play until week 7. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying 2 weeks have gone by, and his owners are thinking maybe he's not a first-round player after all. Maybe his committee is going to take him out. Well, let me tell you something. I'll buy all day long. This is one of my favorite buy low running backs. Actually, this is my favorite buy low running back entering week number 3. You will regret this day if you don't take me seriously and buy this man now. This is the best buy low running back in 2024, sitting here at the edge of week number 3, knocking on the door of week number 3. Mahomes is the best quarterback for that scenario. Worthy might be the best wide receiver buy low, and Gibbs is the best running back buy low. I'm not done though. Maybe I change my mind here after I pull up another name or two. Okay, on the topic of the KC guys, I think you can still buy Rice low. I don't know that he's as good of a buy low as Worthy, so he wouldn't be the best buy low of the week or anything, but he's still pretty cheap. I mean, if you got, let's say, a Tyreek Hill right now, and you got the news that Tua Tagovailoa is out now for 4 weeks on IR, and you're like, what do I do with Tyreek Hill? Not saying you trade Hill straight up for Rice, but you trade Hill for Rice and something. You make some sort of other move or upgrade because he can absolutely be a top 10 wide receiver. So he's actually one of my favorite buy low wide receivers in a 2-for-2, where you're confusing matters. You're muddying up the waters in terms of the trade, and you're getting this guy as your wide receiver 1 downgrade. You're downgrading into him, and you're getting to upgrade somewhere else. So he's the best wide receiver to trade for in a 2-for-2 type of trade, a deceptive 2-for-2, where you're actually getting improvements across the board. Buy low on Amon-Ra St. Brown because he's injured right now. I know that's not a great selling point or a great opening line, but he seems to be fine. His injury's not a big deal, but his owners still might be worried about him being banged up. His owners might still be worried about the fact that J-Mo's emerging And I think he's a great buy low, especially if you're that Tyreek Hill owner and you're looking to downgrade into St. Brown to improve and gain somewhere else in the trade and 2 for 2. This is a great buy low. This is one of the best buy lows. And dare I say, if you got an RB, people are getting hit left and right with injury. If you have, let's say, a running back like J.K. Dobbins and you need a wide receiver, boom, straight across trade, you're getting a guy that gets drafted in round 1. And after 2 weeks of football, people don't have him in round 1 anymore. That's a problem. And that's a problem that you get to take advantage of. But Smitty, what are we doing with this one? I can't believe you're gonna. What the guy say to me the other day in the comments? Smitty, you're gonna actually, die on this hill with Dell. Are you gonna actually? But I'm not dying on a hill if I get this wrong. If I get this wrong, this is the cheapest wide receiver 3. He's not even a wide receiver 3 to a lot of people now. You're paying nothing to go get him at this point. He has so much upside to become a high-end wide receiver 2 again, or even better than that. And you can say whatever you want after 2 weeks of football, but just remember what you thought about him walking into weeks 1 and weeks 2, and now walking out of week 3. If you're a fickle Freddy, it's okay, I'm here for you, but you're ready to jump off this ship already after 2 weeks of football. And part of that means that you probably didn't watch the game. Like, you didn't watch all the games. I watch all the games. I see this all going down. I see how it happens, why it happens. You see 2 touchdowns not connect between Stroud and Dell. Stroud overthrew Dell in week 1. Stroud, I believe, underthrew Dell in week 2 for what would be 2 touchdowns and a very different landscape walking out of week number 2. It's only a matter of time before Dell pops off and has that game, and everybody's going to be back on the train, but I'm going to close the doors and lock them and solder the doors shut, because I'm getting sick and tired of people acting like he can't even be an electric elite wide receiver 3. Go buy him as a wide receiver 3, and you're likely getting something way better than that. And I'll start him in my flex spot all day long. I'm not sitting Tank Dell in my flex spot. Enjoy the show. Go get Jamar Chase right now before it's too late. I'm not saying you overpay. I'm not saying you buy at the old pricing. Today's price is different than yesterday's price, but this guy definitely is going to be a wide receiver 1. He is very disappointing, and it makes it really hard to draft him in the top 5 or 4 ever again. I'll admit that right now, but his owners have kind of lowered the bar. His owners are probably thinking, I don't even know if I have a first rounder anymore, just like St. Brown. Because of the disappointment surrounding the situation. St. Brown's his injury on top of JMO, that lowers his value into that. I don't know if he's a first rounder anymore. And Jamar Chase is like a different version of every year. There's either an injury to Burrow, to him, a slow start every year for Burrow, Chase, and the Bengals. They're always starting off slow, but he does come around, and there's never really, unless he's injured for the year, there's never really a year where he doesn't bounce back at some point. He's just been like this his whole career. I would buy him at the low, because the odds of him having maybe a moment or two and then going like that are really high. Probably the most high of anybody on this list, of having that ability to just go to the moon. You know what I'm saying? To the moon. So I'm buying on this guy every chance I can. You can do a lot of 2 for 1. Somebody got ravaged with injury, and you can send a JK and a wide receiver that's nowhere near Jamar Chase for Jamar Chase. Same thing with St. Brown and the St. Brown trade. It could win a league. It could win a league, pal. Kyren. 1 touchdown in week 1, 1 touchdown in week 2. People are complaining. Wide receivers are down. Offensive line's in shambles, even more so than it was last week. I mean, it's just a crazy scenario. Rams are in trouble. Rams are in real trouble, but they're going to funnel everything through this man. And you need to make sure he's cuffed more than ever, maybe even to the tune of Ronnie Rivers and Blake Corum, just because they're going to feed Kyren more than they probably ever fed him before. And I think he'll produce. I think the efficiency could be up and down, but he'll be fed a whole lot as they lean on the run. They don't have Cooper Kupp for at least 4 or 5 weeks, probably, maybe 7. They don't have Puka Nacua for 5 to 7 weeks, maybe 5 to 8 weeks. This is going to be a different Rams team, and if anybody can weather through the storm, it would be McVay, but he's going to be creative. He was going in the second round in August, right? So you can only imagine he's probably trade value-wise top of round 3, maybe bottom of round 3, maybe even top of round 4 to some people in terms of trade value if you reverse engineer the value into it like a draft value. I think he's one of the best buy lows in fantasy. I mean, with all the injuries going on too, he's going to absolutely have a great year at the end of it all, and I'm buying. Go get both these guys. He'll be a little more expensive, but McBride's going to have a year. Kyler's looking great. The Cardinals are looking great. MHJ's a problem. I'm not saying teams will be successful shutting him down, but they'll try to maybe make Kyler go in a different direction. So in the next coming weeks, this guy's going to blow up and you won't be able to trade for him on the low. Kincaid will come around. And I believe that his pricing's so low right now, his cost of entry is so low that even if it doesn't work out, you're going to break even. But if he does what we thought he could do during August and June and July when we're hyping this kid up, and I don't think we overhyped him. I think he was a good value. He went around 6 in a lot of scenarios. So it's not like anybody overpaid for Kincaid. Kincaid can be bought at lower value than that now that he's not looking good to a lot of people. I'm buying that can win you a league. These are the top buy lows walking into week number 3. Now go smash your trades. Now get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the buy low for week number 3 edition. And I see everything. All right. I saw a couple of you saying, oh, those aren't some crazy buy lows. These aren't buy lows. Yes, they are. Like you may say to me, Smitty, this is hard to find these guys at free pricing, but no one's winning leagues off trading for a free player. You're going to have an ad drop like Mason. Guys like that are going to help you win leagues. But in terms of trade, you're buying every single one of these players is extremely lower than they should be value-wise. So if you think this needs to be a bunch of absolutely dirt cheap players, these are players that can climb tiers. If you're re-ranking everybody from right now moving forward, they will climb actual tiers in the rankings. Kyren's nowhere near his second round value right now. Kincaid's nowhere near his amazing 6th round value. And we're 2 weeks into football. And Worthy was fantastic, as I mentioned in that pre-recorded segment. Yes, we're live right now. That Worthy you could get right now for a wide receiver 4. And people forget how good he was, how hyped they were coming out of week number 1. And same thing for AR5. I saw one of your comments in here. AR5 is doo-doo, I think is what one of you said. AR5 is doo-doo. Oh, yeah. He was not only a top 4 quarterback through all of his games last year that he played, right? Not a lot. But comes out of the gate in week 1 as a top 4 quarterback again. He's had one bad game so far. And you call him doo-doo. He's doo-doo, Smitty. I mean, come on. So buy these guys low. I'm telling you, they're the best values in fantasy right now. There's a couple more names. Even when I went through it, I said to myself, man, I actually like this guy too. I should have listed him. But we got more time for that. That's why we have a live show, so we can discuss all this information and do it live. So appreciate you all being here for that segment. And now it's on to the news. Now we discuss the major news that's breaking in the news world. Tua Tagovailoa he's put on IR, and so he will not be playing for the next 4 weeks, which is a problem. It's a problem because we have a player in Tyreek Hill that 100% is dependent on having a good quarterback. Tyreek Hill can do well. He's kind of like JJ. He can survive. No doubt he can survive with the quarterback like Thompson or Snoop. Snoop might be the guy starting at some point, Tyler Huntley. But he's not going to be anywhere near the same player. He's just not. So if you're trading for Tyreek Hill for a player, you're going to want to go take stabs at Worthy and Rice and get another complimentary player on top of it. If you go after Worthy, clearly your second player you're getting is going to be Kyren-esque. You could get Kyren and Worthy for Hill, potentially. You could get Rice and maybe another player for Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill is definitely going to be a discount. People are going to definitely be freaking out about Tyreek Hill. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, I don't know that I want to own him for 4 straight weeks. And what if Tua gets the advice that he does need, step away from the game? Because one hit and Tua's done. One more hit, Tua's done. One more hit, Tua won't even consider coming back. Right now, Tua says he has no plans to retire. But that's before he's talked to neurologist after neurologist about this situation. And so we're sitting here looking at do we get rid of Tyreek Hill before it's too late? Do we go get Rashee Rice before it's too late and he becomes a staple in everybody's top 5, 6, 7 wide receivers? He very well could. Or Worthy. Or go get Tyreek Hill. Go trade Tyreek Hill for a Kyren and Tank Dell. Go trade Tyreek Hill for a Kyren or a Gibbs straight up if you needed to do that. Go get Jamar Chase for Tyreek Hill. Go get Bijan for Tyreek Hill. Do a 2-for-2, cloudy trade. There are a lot of ways to get rid of Tyreek Hill right now, and Waddle is even more concerning because I feel like Waddle, while he's very good, is a little bit more of a product of the offense and how that situation is set up. You give him a much lesser quarterback where Tyreek Hill's having trouble feasting, Waddle's going to have even more trouble feasting. Now, as for Achane, Devon Achane, not too concerned about Achane's value. I think Achane is definitely going to take a little bit of a hit in some areas, but he's also going to increase in workload, increase in injury risk. Wright is a player people are running from. Wright is not a player you should not be at least considering or monitoring, because if something did happen to Achane, even if it was 2 or 3 games, Wright would be injected into the lineup because Mostert probably will not stay healthy. I almost guarantee you, I can't guarantee, nothing is a guarantee in life except for that the sun will rise and that Mahomes will bounce back. Everything else is a near guarantee. I near guarantee you that Jalen Wright will be playing games this year, or starting at least a couple games. I can near guarantee that because of Mostert, because of, and I hate to say that on Achane, but I'm not even saying that in terms of Achane being involved. I'm saying that right now we didn't have Wright as a starter in the Mostert role. Me saying that means that Achane could still be in the game, and Wright is essentially the second running back, but the guaranteed touch second running back. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying an injury has to happen to Achane, but everybody running away from Wright because he pissed you off in week 2. He pissed you off in week 2. He pissed you off in week 1. You're real upset at Wright, and you're judging him when he hasn't even been given a chance yet. And might I remind every single one of you, if you gave up on Achane coming out of week number 1 and week number 2, how would you be looking? Pretty bad. Achane, healthy scratch in week 1. Wright was a healthy scratch in week 1. Achane, running back 62, not used in week 2. Very disappointed in Achane in week 2. Week number 3, Achane, running back 1. Then running back 5. Then running back 4. So let's pump the brakes on the deciding what a player is before the player's even got a chance. Okay? So Tua Tagovailoa, I've got the news here. I got to see if I can send it to my computer because all the news clips that I have right here are for some reason not transferring over. So let me see if I can send these over right now and airdrop them in. So hang tight while I get all of these pieces of news in the building. Here we go, dropping it live. All right, we should have it. So we'll talk a little bit more about Tua. Now, do I think Skylar's going to do anything? Do I think he's worth picking up? Not really. Superflex potentially. Superflex potentially, but that does need to be discussed if you have like a Superflex question. I'll get to the super chats. Speaking of super, I'll get to the super chats in a second. So please hang tight. I will be rolling through those as quickly as I can. I now have all the news clippings that I can throw on screen. This one here from our boy Raj, RSF 49ers. This report coming from Bleacher Report says that Deebo Samuel, his calf strain, is expected, or he expects to be out 1 to 2 weeks. Now keep in mind, it sounds like Deebo is saying he expects to be out 1 to 2 weeks. Remember that a man by the name of T. Higgins said that he felt fantastic, but then he did not play. A man named Christian McCaffrey said he felt fine for the most part. He will be playing week 1. He did not play week 1. Deebo can say whatever the hell he wants, but I don't necessarily believe. I believe it when I see it. And for him to say 1 to 2 weeks, this is him trying to be optimistic about him being on the field like every player is when they're injured. We have no clue as to when Deebo's going to be back. And he could come back out onto the field with a calf strain, make one hard cut, and boom, He's out 4 weeks on IR because he didn't rest it long enough. Let me tell you something about calf injuries. These things are bad. These are the new ACLs. If you remember back in the day, ACLs were ravaging the league. And, many years ago, it was ACL. We haven't seen, knock on wood, the ACL injury taking out players. It's weird how injuries travel in waves. And they come in groupings. And there's always a new injury. Calf injuries are the new injury. Calf injuries lead to Achilles tears sometimes. Calf injuries, especially if they're lower. Calf injuries are very, very bad. They're very annoying, and they get worse, progressively worse, until you tear it and you're out for the season if you're not careful. So the only problem with the calf injury is you can't test it in game speed. You can't go out there and make a cut, a hard cut, a game day cut. You getting hit in the side while you're trying to go in the other direction, and your body's adjusting on the fly and flexing your muscles and tightening the muscles in different weird ways. And there's 3 muscles in the calf. It's a complex situation. There's 3 muscles in the calf that wrap and turn into your Achilles tendon. So a lot of times having a calf problem or an Achilles soreness has a correlation to the calf or a correlation to the Achilles, which is why oftentimes a calf strain is an indication that the Achilles is weak and the Achilles is about to bust. Not every time, but it is definitely an indication. So when you have a calf strain, like in the case of Aaron Rodgers, you're wearing the sleeve on the leg, we're worried about the calf, and he ruptures the Achilles tendon. The calf injury was an indication that the Achilles was weak. That is a correlation. Not always, but it is a strong correlation. So we've got problems here if he rushes back. There's no, 1 to 2 weeks, thank God. This is what Deebo said. I know more about it than Deebo, and I can tell you right now, Deebo goes out there, rushes, and he's going to tear it. So I don't know. We don't know if this is what to make of this, 1 to 2 weeks. I just want to make that clear. Don't be expecting him to be back. We've heard this before. We can't trust what these players say. Here's a positive piece of news I thought I'd sprinkle in to the mix here. Most receiving yards for a tight end this season. Brock Bowers, baby.
Mashed potatoes. Yep.
Wow. Look at this guy. 156. Isaiah Likely, 137. And people are complaining about Likely right now. Don't matter if it came in 1 week. This guy is the second leading receiver in the tight end position. Kittle looking good. Hunter Henry's an undervalued guy. He's on the waiver wire board. If anybody needs the waiver wire list, here it is. Hunter Henry is a great pickup. In fact, you could probably say Parkinson's going to stay like kind of on the side, like they're going to be kind of near neck and neck, because with all the wide receivers down, Parkinson will get an uptick. But Henry's certainly in the mix for the top pickup of the week in the tight end column. And of course, here's the other guys. You got the Rams wide receivers, Shaheed, Yoshi Voss. Dotson did not prove to be worthy at all of this ranking. We're going to throw him back down. Naylor's good. Mooney is looking fantastic. Naylor's looking fantastic. Cowing might be here to stay. We'll find out. There's a lot of players on this board. And of course, the running backs are where I think you win leagues with Steele, P. Ryan, Braylon Allen, Benson, Jalen Wright, and even Chase Brown later, or Bucky Irving if something happens to Rashad White, which honestly at this stage, I expect it. It's not that I'm being negative. I just expect injuries. I expect a lot of injuries. I mean, we look at this board here. This is a top 25 ADP board from the preseason. And it's like Christian McCaffrey, boom. A.J. Brown, boom. Puka Nacua, boom. Deebo, where's Deebo Samuel? Is Deebo even on this ADP list? I think Deebo might be right below the top 25. Is that correct? Yeah, I don't see him in here. We've got, but then you start factoring in all the disappointments. Olave, disappointment. Achane, no, he's great. Josh Allen, he's great. Drake London's been disappointing. Maybe he's turning that around. Travis Kelce, disappointment. Derrick Henry, he's disappointing. Adams, disappointing. Although, go. Actually, you could put Adams at mediocre right now because of a good game, bad game. But I think he's going to be. ETN, not what you paid for. Kyren, look, Kyren hasn't delivered exactly what you paid for, but he's got 2 touchdowns he scored in each game. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 1 bad game, 1 amazing game. He's fine. Puka Nacua obviously injured. JT, disappointment. Gibbs hasn't done what we wanted him yet to do. That's why he's on a buy low board. Garrett Wilson, completely disappointing. Barkley, I think despite, last night's situation, he's still absolutely amazing, right? Breece Hall, Bijan and Breece Hall haven't done what we wanted. St. Brown hasn't done what we wanted. Jamar Chase hasn't done what we wanted. JJ's good. CeeDee Lamb, good. Tyreek Hill, disappointing. I mean, I just want to make a strong point here that we went through the entire top 25, and there were very rare situations where we're satisfied. So when you go out there, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but you go out there and you complain and feel sorry for yourself, and I do it too. We all do it. We all look at our roster and we go, if only Deebo didn't get hurt, or I've got Deebo and Cup. They both got injured. Oh my God, why me? Why me? Why me? Look at the top 25. You're so focused on yourself, you don't realize that everyone is getting hit somewhere. And if you stop complaining about it in your own mind and go attack the waiver wire and don't miss out on the next Jordan Mason like you might have when you were complaining about week 1, then you will be ahead of the game. There are so many people that are struggling. Even if a player's not out, a team that drafted Tyreek Hill, a team that drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown, a team that drafted Garrett Wilson, a team that drafted ETN or Travis Kelce, those teams are hurting as if the player got hurt. That top 25 is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right, so we got a couple other pieces of news, and then we're going straight to we're gonna have to make an animation. This is our boy Brock Bowers in another photo, but look at this monster, man. We're gonna have to make an animation of this guy going out there with the grandpa do and just catching balls and running circles around the young kids. That's going to be the animation for Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is a beast, bro. Love the guy. Love him. Again, we talked about this. Tua Tagovailoa could return week 8 on IR. Impact to Hill's massive. Impact to Achane. It's not ideal, but Achane could survive it the best. And I don't think Achane necessarily even takes a hit in value. It's more of an ambiguity. We weren't wanting. We want a high-octane offense. But if anybody can put Achane in positions to help, he might hurt him, though. Understand that he might miss 2 or 3 games under the pressures of what he's going to endure. Miami Mike is going to put Jalen Wright in a situation where Jalen Wright's going to be helpful. I'm telling you that right now. You do not leave Wright on waivers. Listen to what I'm saying. If you can afford it, at least. I don't know what your bench looks like. Maybe you got to monitor him. But listen to what I'm saying here. He will become valuable at some point during the year. He could become the Jordan Mason still. The deflated balloon, the deflated expectation of week 2 is going to take control of some people's minds, and they're going to leave Wright in a bucket of doubted trash that I don't want to go near, and it's going to be a grave mistake, and I'm here to tell you right now. I'm telling you right now. Tua Tagovailoa, big impact to the entire team. Injuries are likely for everyone involved now. But it doesn't mean we're running away from Achane, because per start, Achane is an absolute savage. And what is Achane? Let me pull, I haven't even looked. Let's see what Achane ranks amongst all running backs in a random league. I'm just going to click on one league. We'll go in this league right here. I'll hit players. I'll hit leaders. I'll sort by RB. Achane's the number 2 running back in fantasy.
Let him cook.
Doch! Running back, Doch! Kamara, running back 1.
Let him cook.
Smitty, aren't you worried about Kendre Miller? Aren't you worried about this and that? Kamara, while not a moon man on the list, we talked up Kamara all offseason long. Kendre, especially in early September and late August, of Kendre Miller might not make the team. There's no one else. You could win a league off Kamara at his ADP. Kamara's absolutely smashing. So, big win there for everybody involved in that Kamara situation. Unbelievable. Let's see here. The news is just kind of out of control right now with all these injuries. It's just insane. Here's another piece from the Tua Tagovailoa situation. We've got this news right here. Who is this? Who is this news right here? I'm going to the Super Chats next, guys. Kareem Hunt. Oh, yeah, NFL Network. Kareem Hunt has signed to the practice squad. There's no guarantee that this becomes anything of use right now. Hang tight on this one. I know a lot of people are going to race to pick up Hunt and not pick up Steele, or race to pick up Hunt and not pick up Pirine. And Hunt could even be, dare I say here, I'm not saying he can't rise up. Right is definitely Benson. Two guys, like if someone comes to me and says, Smitty, who is the next Mason? Is there another Mason sitting there? I need you to give me a name. Benson, Wright, Braylon Allen, Steele, Pirine, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown. If Zach Moss goes down and everybody gives up on Chase Brown like they're giving up on Wright, it's a very similar effect. Bigsby still, Guerendo. If Mason goes down, Guerendo is going to the moon. You could even argue that Guerendo deserves to be here. There's moving that I could do every time I look at the board. That's why I do it like nobody else does it. We do a rolling waiver wire every single day practically. Even when waivers process tonight in most every league, I show the waiver board every single day all the way to kickoff, because you still need to know, are there players I can pick up right now? I suffered an injury. We do waiver wire like nobody.
Let him cook.
Kareem Hunt, yeah, so not sure what that even means, to be honest with you. We don't know yet. Marshawn Lloyd going to IR. Just more goodness for Josh Jacobs, who Mars man extraordinaire. Josh Jacobs to the mother flipping moon. We've got this guy right here, Justin Fields. A team is readying ourselves around Justin Fields. I still feel like, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but Justin Fields is getting such a bad shake. Again, I mean, he's getting the shot to start, but he's being given the opportunity that he's earned because of injury. And they continue to string him along. And I don't even know if they're building the offense around him yet, which they should be doing, or if he's playing in the vehicle that was designed to fit Russell Wilson. Because you're not getting the most out of Fields if you're not building the offense around Fields, because they're completely different players. So I'm a little frustrated that he's got the keys that belong to Russ Wilson. I don't understand what Tomlin's doing. Put your faith behind this guy. Give him the support he deserves. He's now in 2 locations back to back that don't give him the proper support or appreciation. And now we're going to ready ourselves. If maybe Russ 2-0. You're 2-0 under Fields. He's going to get better when you start planning the offense around him. You're 2-0 behind Justin Fields, and you're really considering putting in Russell Wilson? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It makes me angry, to be honest with you. And Kareem Hunt, I already touched on that one. Why do I have 2 different graphics on that? I think that might be all the news right now that I wanted to discuss and put on screen. Yeah, so we're good on the news. We're going to go straight over to the Super Chats. Appreciate you all who have dropped a Super Chat. You guys are absolute monsters. We got a $20 hauler. I'm going to hit the $20 haulers first, then go to all the other Super Chats. $20 hauler from Adam. Thank you, Adam. We're going to answer these 20s in order in which they're received. Armando, $20 hauler. Armando, appreciate you, my guy, for dropping that one. Cheryl dropping a $20 hauler. Cheryl, I got you right here. Hang tight. I'm coming for you in 1 second. Brownie, appreciate your $20 hauler. I got you right there. Give me 1 second. I'm going to swing back around and answer the question for you. I got a lot of Super Chats. I did not miss you. I know some people are going to say, hey, Smitty, you missed my Super Chat. I've not, because I'm just beginning on the Supers. And it's like a fine dining restaurant. A little bit of a wait, but once you sit down at the table, you feel like this is worth it. This is an amazing restaurant. I'm coming back here again. I don't care what the wait is. That's what we're doing here, okay? $20 hauler there. $20 haulers get immediate attention. And then Franco with the last $20 hauler that I see. I'm going to put you at the back of these 20s, but I'm coming for you, pal. Mad says $20 hauler, full PPR, JD5 Fields, Kyren, Gibbs, Sharbs, B. Ford. Love this team. Pacheco owner has St. Brown, Flowers, and Metcalf, Singletary, McLaughlin. Trade ideas. I'd definitely go after St. Brown, bro. 100%. Would I give up Charbonnet? Would I give up Ford? Would I give up a guy like, damn, this is tough. Like, you'd have to go. I don't think you're going to be able to do much unless you give up. Yeah, you don't have a lot of depth to even do anything, bro. You can't. There's no way. Like, no one's going to give you what you want for McBride. No one's going to pay for Worthy. Cup's going to be impossible to trade. Dell has no value to trade. You hold him versus trading him high. Kyren doesn't have the value yet. Gibbs doesn't have the value yet. I'm going to say unless you can get rid of like Cup and Ford for St. Brown, which you're not going to do. Cup's out for a significant amount of time. There's no trade here. I wish I could tell you there was, but there's no trade here. You just can't do it. I mean, unless you're going after... Yeah, unless you can't. You can't. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. I wish I could tell you there was, but mad, you'd be crazy mad to trade away Gibbs or Kyren on the cheap right now. If you could get St. Brown for Kyren and then get back a running back of note, like maybe, but you'd have to tell me what those RBs were. There's no move here. Your only move is to stand down and just hold out and wait. I sometimes that's the answer, bro. Sometimes it's like you're going to make a hole in this boat trying to fill another hole. You're going to make a bigger hole by doing something. Dynasty PPR sold Garrett Wilson and B. Robinson for MHJ. I am fine with that. Rate the team. Mahomes, Achane, Dobbins. Good. I like that so far. Your wide receivers are MHJ, Puka, Tank Dell. Tank Dell's fine. Don't listen to people. Reed, I like this team. Kelsey, I stand down. There's not much to move around. You'd be doing yourself a disservice by making a trade as well. I think your trade was outstanding. Great job. Full PPR, JD5, AK, Kyren. Is this a super flex? I don't know if it is. No, it's not. AK, Kyren. Kamara and Kyren and JD5 is pretty damn good. Rice, Godwin. Godwin's playing great right now. MHJ, fantastic. Amari Cooper. Could you trade Amari Cooper and B-Rob? I could look into something like that. I don't know if anybody's going to give you much for Amari Cooper right now. You could go B-Rob and Godwin, who's playing amazing. B-Rob and Godwin for a Gibbs right now, for a Kyren, for a top 5 running back might be something that I explore. Not that I don't believe in Godwin. I just think Godwin's a great sell high. And JD5 for. So this trade here, should I package B-Rob and JD5 for Mahomes? I'd do that in a heartbeat too. Absolutely. And if I had to throw in something a little extra, I would. Like Fab dollars, whatever it took. 12-man league, Goff, Jefferson, Olave, Achane, Gibbs. Okay, I'm not loving Goff, but I like this team. Neighbors, Kittle, Bigsby. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. Offered CMC and Dell for Gibbs, and he offered CMC and Pacheco and Burrow and Dell for Achane, Gibbs, and Olave. What? He wants to give you CMC, Pacheco. Both are out, bro. And Burrow and for Achane and Gibbs. Of course he wants to give you that, Brownie. Like, no. The answer is no. This is for your own good. $20 hauler. Appreciate you. I don't want you to think I'm not grateful. But I do need to stick to my guns. And when you need to go on a lap, you need to go on a lap. But there's no way you even consider this. Even to put into a super chat and say, what do you think about... I mean, I'm not going to do it, Smitty, but I want to know what you think. You can't trade for Pacheco and Christian McCaffrey, who may not even return. And you give up Gibbs and Achane. No! But great team. Sit on this team. Try your best to use Goff and something like, I don't know, Goff and maybe like a Olave downgrade or I'd sit on this team. Goff's good enough. Hit the waiver wire. Pick up Penix Jr. and see if Cousins is out there, and you'd have at least the duo there. Cousins has been dropped in so many leagues, and he had a pretty nice little ending to the game that could spark some sort of fantasy resurgence for him. And if you cuff him to Penix Jr., it's going to be a crafty QB potentially. Cheryl, appreciate you. 14-team league, one waiver wire roster, or one league, number one waiver wire rosters. JD5, London, Waddle, Devontae Smith, Gibbs, Zamir, Goddard, Jalen. Bench is Love, Corum, Algier. Would use the number one on Steele. P. Ryan, Yoshivas. I would probably, look, we don't know if it's P. Ryan. The tough part is P. Ryan's probably got the PPR locked down. But Steele, they love Steele. The fan base loves him. He's the touchdown threat. But could we just see both of them out there, and P. Ryan gets so much of the PPR work that it's hard to really overlook that? I don't know. I'm going to say Steele. I just, maybe it's because I created the video and I spent all the time on it. I don't know. There could be some bias injected into this, but I'm going to go Steele. My gut tells me Steele. My gut tells me, when I made that video and did that drop in the very beginning before week 1, I was saying that I have a gut feeling when they kept this guy on the roster that this story is going to be a good one later. You know, one they reflect on and say, let's look back on Steele. What an amazing situation. It just feels like that to me. Perine, he's been in the league a while. He's never really done anything of note for a long period of time. I feel like Steele is the guy. So hit the vote in the chat right now. Steele, who do you guys like? Steele or Perine? And do we do a full load drop on that? Go ahead and hit it. How many teams? Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate you. And I like the squad. It's a very good team. You know, you're obviously looking strong in many areas, but adding a potential poor man's version of Jordan Mason could do your team some good. So Steele would be my pick. And the chat's going to vote on it right now. Perine has little TD upside, says Mr. TD. Perine for PPR. Perine, Steele, Hunt, Steele. Steele's kind of coming back, making a comeback in the vote. I would vote Steele. Armando, $20 hauler, 10-man league, 0-2. Lineup is good, or should I panic? JD5, Mason, Kyren, Tyreek, Thomas Jr., Andrews, Steele. Bench is Cooper, Pittman, Deebo. I mean, you got hit with injury. Like, what are you gonna do? Panic on what? How you gonna get out of this? You know, you got to wait on Deebo. You got to wait on, you know, any injuries like that. You can't really sell out of that. Your team's very good. You have a very good team. Tyreek Hill, even though the injury wasn't to him per se, it was to his quarterback, which hurts him. Extension of him. I'll probably say, you know, I would hold on this team. Very good squad, unless I could take Cooper or Deebo to upgrade something like Daniels and Deebo for an AR5, you know, like, or a Mahomes. I'd probably go after Mahomes. Maybe someone would do that. They'd be like, you know what? I don't think Mahomes is playing well anyway. Why don't I just take his JD5? There's some excitement there, and I actually have a guy I like better than JD5, but I'd take JD5. I'll start that guy, and I'll take Deebo and wait on him. Something like that is a way to get rid of Deebo, you know, without having to really say, man, I'm screwing up. But Deebo is, I would say, if you did the AR5 thing, you got to get something back. Deebo is said to be out 1 to 2 weeks. It's tough to know. Again, just because we hear that doesn't mean it's going to be so. So I'm strongly considering selling him, but the AR5 straight up wouldn't be enough if you were throwing in JD5. JD5 is still very good, but it is definitely something I would consider if you could get maybe, like, let's say a Tank Dell, who I love. I don't care what anybody says. Give me Tank Dell and give me AR5, and I do the JD5 or Deebo situation. It's just something to think about. You got to comb through the teams that have 2 quarterbacks, though. 12-team PPR, record 0-2. Mahomes, St. Brown, Rice, London. I like your team, though, already. I could tell it's good. Your running backs, who are your running backs? You got, oh, that's where it went south. Okay, Jahmyr White's a running back 1. Hubbard, oh, bro. Kincaid, I like Kincaid. Deontay, waste of space. Likely, okay. You got Likely and Kincaid. That's your only opening here. There's nothing else here at running back or on the bench or anything like that. Oh, God. What do you do here? You can't sell anybody high, bro. St. Brown, he's been injured. No one's going to buy him high. Mahomes, no one's going to buy him high. Rice, no one's going to buy Rice where he deserves to be bought. So you're unfortunately waiting. You got to do a full load drop on Steele and hope Steele's the real deal. Likely, you know, Zach Moss might not be a bad move for you. Chase Brown probably gets cut at some point, and you compare those two together. I'd maybe consider going after a Zach Moss or a Kenneth Walker injured, using a Likely or Kincaid. That's your only avenue out, bro. You have no ability to trade any of those other guys and not take a bath on the trade. Traded Pollard and Jameson Williams for Jamar Chase. I like that a lot. Team stands: Hurts, Henry, Mason, Rashee Rice, Jamar Chase, MHJ, Pitts, bro. Nice. I like it a lot. Going to Mars for sure. Thoughts, waivers, you're the GOAT. I mean, look, Garendo. Make sure you grab Garendo so you have the entire trio, because you've got CMC. Don't drop right. I'm telling you, don't drop right. I'm sending your team to the moon. No, Mars.
To Mars.
It's a great squad. It's a real great squad. Okay, we got the super chats out of the way. They're $20 haulers unless somebody dropped a 20 down below. We got What's the Word dropping a $50 hauler. Let's go. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$50. Give me $50 holler. Get by the brother, Smitty. Give me $50.
What's the word? Appreciate you. 12-team PPR. Have Henry, Kyren with Pollard on my bench. Okay, receivers are weak. Neighbors, McConkey, Robinson, and Allen. Should I trade Henry for Ayuk? I don't know, man. I think those are pretty even players. And Ayuk has had horrible efficiency. One of the worst in the NFL through 2 weeks. His route efficiency has been awful, dreadful. Do I think he bounces back a little with Deebo injured and all that? Sure. But I don't know if you trade Henry, you're just creating like one whole, I'd almost rather have Henry, or I'd almost rather go after a different player. I'd almost rather go get a Jacobson Dell, or go to the Dell owner, go to the Worthy owner, and see what they have at running back that could allow you a little bit better trade. At the end of the day, if they say no, I would consider it, I suppose, but it doesn't feel like the right move. I think you'd use this to go get 2 players if you're going to do anything. I would definitely say it doesn't feel like the right trade. Okay, I'm going to go in order which they're received, so please hang tight. If I haven't got to your super chat, I promise you I will. $5 hauler, hold or not on this team. Brees, Kyren, Benson. It's a good squad. Jamar, Chase, Smith. I like it. I'm not moving much on this. There's not a lot of panicked pieces here. Maybe upgrade Burrow somehow. How do you upgrade Burrow? I don't think you have much to do to navigate this unless somehow, some way the Najee owner wanted Warren and you could upgrade Burrow. But I'm not getting rid of Kyren or Brees. You got him cuffed. I'm not getting rid of Benson. He's going to potentially be a star later. Not getting rid of Chase. So I'm going to hold on this team and hope that Burrow just bounces back. This is a stand down.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Easiest stand down I've seen today. Sometimes that's the right move, 3 flex, 1 QB. Murray, Bijan, Hall, Gibbs, Corum, Chase Brown. Wide receivers, Harrison, Kupp. Man, it sucks to see Kupp on. Sucks, man. The injuries just suck. I mean, you see a team like this, Harrison and Kupp, you have maybe 2 top 5 wide receivers, but we're going to get through it. Hit the waiver wire. As far as any trades go, you got such good running backs, man. And you still have Andrews. Trade one of the tight ends if you can. One of the tight ends. Keep Murray. Ride that train. Whichever tight end you can get the most value for. Maybe trade Kupp in the tight end for a wide receiver, bro. I could see somebody giving you for Andrews and Kupp, or Likely and Kupp, whichever one. Pitts. Pitts or Andrews, whichever one, with Cooper Kupp, maybe giving you that Rashee Rice type player. Maybe giving you that injured St. Brown. Maybe giving you a wide receiver that ranks in that territory. That's going to be your move. You can't get rid of Kupp for anything right now because he's out a while. But if you trade him and the tight end, it dilutes the responsibility that Kupp brings to the table, and it makes someone do a trade they wouldn't do 1-for-1. It's all psychology, bro. So go try that. 3 wide receivers, half PPR. Do I trade Godwin and Devontae Adams for Wilson and Olave? It's pretty even, man. I mean, Godwin's playing great. Devontae Adams, he did well last week, but I definitely don't love him long-term. Wilson's been struggling. Olave, I probably take Wilson and Olave from weeks 3 on. I mean, it's not like you're trading away the points you've already gotten, so you got to think of it logically. Trade Mason for DK. I got Achane, Gibbs, and Chase and Olave. If you can start both running backs and you have no problem, I'm keeping Mason. But make sure you have Garendo. But DK's a good fine wide receiver to swap if you feel the need. I Smitty approve either side, but I lean Mason. Before the show, traded JT, Ford, and Amari Cooper for Gibbs and Worthy. JT, Ford, and Amari. I take that. I think you did absolutely phenomenal on that. Bro, nice work. Love it. All right. We got Jonathan here. Dynasty Superflex, 12-man. CJ, Dak, Bryce Young, Dak, Brees Hall, Kyren, Corum, Braylon Allen, JJ, Puka, Ayuk, McBride, any moves to make. Let's not panic on this team. This is a great dynasty team. I think if you panic, you got the guys cuffed. I'd pick up Ronnie Rivers, mate. Well, it's dynasty. You don't really need to, I guess, but I monitor him. But I'm not getting rid of Puka or JJ or Ayuk on any sort of cheap level. JMO, you maybe have something in JMO to trade later. But I love this team. I would not dismantle this team because of a injury start or a slow start at all. That's a phenomenal Smitty built team. So I like every starter you have. Is K9 and Javonte for like a JT too much? No, I would definitely trade Javonte and K9 for JT. I would give up even a tiny bit more if I needed to, but try not to. That would be a great trade for you. Would you trade Ford? Would you trade Ford, Lab, McConkey, and Penix for Dell and Rashad White? Absolutely in Dynasty, 100%. I like Penix Jr. a lot. Unless it was super flex, we'd have to have a little bit of a conversation about it. But Dell, I love long-term. Rashad White, I'd probably flip, but he's got decent value. That would be a great trade. I like that trade a lot. This one from 7, appreciate you. Trade Hurts, ETN for Mahomes. Hurts and ETN for Mahomes and Gibbs. I take Mahomes and Gibbs pretty easily, bro. Really easily. I don't even know why I hesitated. I just had to read it because it looked too good to be true, maybe. I don't know. Thomas, appreciate you. 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. JD5, Rice, Marcus Robinson, Achane, Kyren, McBride, Jacobs, Mason. Beach. Who the hell's Beach, bro? Bench Mooney. I think you're saying bench. Bench is Mooney, C. Watt, Ridley. Okay, so you got some Ridley and maybe Mason for an upgrade potentially. Or you just ride the Mason train, bro. Ridley and JD5 for, if you believe AR5's an upgrade, or Mahomes, I would do Ridley and JD5 for Mahomes in a second. I'd throw in Mooney. I'd throw in, I'd do Jacobs and Ridley for a little bit higher RB. You've got Gibbs already or no? So Gibbs would be a perfect target for that. That would be fantastic. Gibbs, as you know from this video, Gibbs is one of my favorite buy lows of the week by far and away. So go smash the hell out of that. Traded Olave plus Laporta for Mason and McMillan. I'm going to say no, I wouldn't have done that only because Mason's great right now, but he does maybe not have an expiration date in terms of what he's doing now. And he's never carried this volume since high school, so there's injury risk, which is why you must go get the man known as Isaac Guerendo if you have Mason. This is non-negotiable. And it wasn't in the offseason as well. Look at Guerendo peeking over the shoulder. Mason and McCaffrey with Guerendo over the shoulder. It's a must-have. So I don't think I would have done this. I don't think it's the end of the world. But I think you definitely need Guerendo. Need a tight end, and someone offered Kittle and Dell for Evans. Should I accept? Chat, can we get a vote on that one? Kittle and Dell for Evans. Kittle or Dell? Which side do you like better? Kittle and Dell or Evans? I think probably I'm going to say depending on your tight end situation. If your tight end is serviceable, Hunter Henry obviously is the second best tight end in yardage. Something to that tune, I'd probably say keep Evans, who could have one more phenomenal year. But if you don't have a tight end at all, this is a major upgrade. Kittle is the number 3 tight end in yards right now. So Kittle and Dell would be a phenomenal move. So it's all dependent on your tight end position. Some people do that and they're like, I got likely. Like, why are you doing this then? James, appreciate it. Or Connor and Javonte for Achane. Of course I do Connor and Javonte for Achane. You get that done, James. We all quit our jobs and we come work for you, bro. Come on. Try and pull that off. I dare you. $10 hauler, 12-man PPR keeper league. Any moves? Hurts, Fields, Hall, Jacobs, Benson, A.J. Brown, Keon, BT, Dell. Very good team. I don't think there's much I want to move around, bro. I like this team a lot. Unless I'm maybe moving Jacobs and BT for Kyren or Achane or maybe JT. I know a lot of people are mad at JT right now, but those moves I would make. But that's about it. Your team has a grip of players I love. Achane for Jamison Williams, JT, and Brian Thomas Jr. I would trade Achane for Jamison Williams, JT, and Brian Thomas Jr. And that's coming from an Achane believer, somebody that loves Achane more than anybody you've ever met in your life. This one right here, $10 hauler, 12 team, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, AR5, Mason, Achane, Neighbors, Terry, Dell, Kincaid, and 80 Mitchell, CMC, Cooper Kupp. God, you got hit with injuries. Thoughts? I mean, you don't have much flexibility to do anything but wait. You still got AR5, Achane, and Mason, and Neighbors, and Dell. Don't sit Dell for anything in this situation, Kincaid. I'm waiting if I'm you. You literally have, go get Garendo. Do not leave Garendo out there. Don't have a Jacoby Myers or Dowdle over Garendo in this situation. Don't you dare. Don't let Wright go. Don't let Corum go. I love this squad. You got a nice little team. Don't let yourself get off track and not realize you have an amazing team. Just hang tight. You're going to pull through, I promise. I almost promise. I can't promise, but I almost promise. 0-2, traded Kelsey and Ford for Bowers and K9. Yeah, Bowers is playing out of his mind. For Connor and Dak for Allen. I would definitely take Allen, Jacobs, K9, and Mason, Wright, Hill, Diggs, Coleman. I love it. Good job, Bob. Bob does some excellent work there. Great minds think alike, pal. Antonio, I have the number 1 waiver wire pickup. Who do I target? I have Carr, my number 1, and I have CJ Stroud and Goff, but need a tight end. I have Carr as my number 1. As your number 1 what? Is this a super flex? What do you mean? Your number 1 pickup? I have CJ Stroud and Goff, but I need a tight end. I don't know what this Carr part means, but I would say that you need a tight end. You got to look at the waiver wire and say, like, can you get Hunter Henry, Parkinson? But at the end of the day, it's these RBs. These are the ones that are winning leagues. So I'm going to say those are the players I'm picking up. Braylon Allen's a better talent that could win leagues if he gets in there. Hopefully he doesn't get in there, but he still gets touchdowns and is very serviceable. I think Carson Steele's probably the man of the hour right now, but that could change. And I have no idea what you mean about Carr as far as being your number 1 when you got Stroud. Carr's an interesting play. Mark Cleveland with a $20 hauler. Thomas with a $20 hauler. Appreciate both you bad boys dropping that on the screen there. Let me go ahead and handle these $20 haulers. They get immediate attention. Then I get back to the super chat grind. Mark Cleveland says, should I trade Mason and DJ Moore for Rice and Richardson? Mason and DJ Moore for Rice. And yes, Mark, I would do that. Assuming you don't have a good quarterback. Because Richardson's still unbelievable league-winning material. I get what he did in week 2, pissed people off, but what did he do in week 1? What did he do in the other 2 full games he played last year? He's been a top 4 quarterback every game he's played, pretty much, except for a full game he's played or near full game he's played, except for week 2. So I'm very much in the business of taking a Rice and a Richardson and saying I've got more upside on that side of the fence. Is there risk involved, Mark? There is. You got to understand that. But there's risk in keeping the other side too. Lost A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, and Love. Keep in mind, Mark, Jordan Mason could ball out this week, though. I'm just letting you know so you don't get pissed off if you don't get exactly what you want out of this week. Mason's going to have a day, but I still do that trade. Lost AJB, Kupp, and Love, so made the deal yesterday. Gave up Jacobs and Andrews and got Aaron Jones, Waddle, and Jaden Reed. It could be pretty even. I think Aaron Jones, I don't know about. Waddle, he's in a very bad situation right now. Jaden Reed, he's got his quarter. Like, you traded for guys that, like, you had an injury strike, and then you traded for more guys that are just in disastrous situations. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Jacobs, he's in a disastrous situation too, but he's playing well. Andrews, I don't know. At the end of the day, I probably wouldn't have done it. I would have tried to trade Andrews for like a Tank Dell and something, and then still kept Jacobs. But I don't know. I'm not saying you took a lap on it. Is Reed startable with no Love? Yeah, he is right now. He's still a wide receiver 3, no doubt about it. But I don't know that I would have done that trade. But it doesn't mean it's horrible. It could still work out for you very much. We have people that come back and say, remember that super chat you didn't like earlier? What do you think now? And I'm like, yeah, with the injuries that have happened, it looks good now. So things could look good, but it's not horrible. I just wouldn't have done it. $10 hauler, Hurts, Achane, Henry, McConkey, Shaheed, Fryermuth, Mason, bench, AJB, Puka, Mostert, Wright. Throw some trade ideas out there for me, trying to flip Henry. I'd probably say, it's a good team. I probably would say Henry and Shaheed, for that Kyren or JT. I'm definitely willing to take a chance on JT. I know some people might not want to. They're pissed off at JT, but he still feels like he has some good upside if you're to buy. I think, Barkley coming off a pretty bland, a disappointing day might have lowered his value a little bit enough to maybe get into the Henry Shaheed, both those guys. I keep Mason, go get Garendo, AJB, Puka. God, you got hit hard. But there's not much really to throw around unless you're going to trade a Puka or an AJB. I hold AJB more than I hold Puka. Puka and maybe Henry could get you that Gibbs upgrade. That would be a fine maneuver. Very, very solid maneuver. That would be good. I like that. Okay, let me hit these super chats. EA Goat says, would you trade Allen for Patty Mahomes and a value running back wide receiver? It depends what it is. Is it like a Dell? Then maybe. Smitty, I just traded Mike Evans and Shaheed for Jamar Chase and Christian Watson. Evans and Shaheed. I like that trade. Smitty approved that trade. Kyle Shanahan says Hill and Henry for Rice and Kyren versus Hill for Chase. Hill and Henry for Rice and Kyren versus Hill for Chase. I'd probably trade Hill and Henry. I'd probably trade Hill for Chase, I think. Hill and Henry for Rice and Kyren. Maybe I go Rice and Kyren's pretty good and Hill for Chase is pretty good. Those are pretty even moves. Smitty, Carr, Geno, Fields this week. I guess for right now, Carr gets the go-ahead. He's been playing great. 14-team trade Gibbs for Kyren and Ayuk. I would probably take Kyren and Ayuk over Gibbs, but that's definitely got some risk to it. Gibbs is safer for sure right now, but Jamar Chase and Ayuk for St. Brown and London. St. Brown and London. That's a tough one. St. Brown and London. So trade Chase and Ayuk for St. Brown and London. I'd probably say Chase and Ayuk. But really, really tough call. Drop Chase Brown for Braylon Allen. No Breece Hall. I would take Braylon Allen, but I want both of them. Monitor Chase Brown, though. Okay. Will you trade Nico for ETN Worthy? I'd rather have Nico right now than ETN and Worthy. But it also depends on what your depth looks like. Got offered Dell plus Jacobs for Hall. Need a wide receiver after Cup. Dell and Jacobs for Hall. I'm going to hold on to Hall on this one. I think I want more. It's a tough call. It's a good idea, but I just want more. What's your thoughts on Quentin Johnston, wide receiver 1 in LA? No. I think he's one of the worst wide receivers in the National Football League, to be honest with you. He did catch some touchdowns. I get it, but this guy's been dropping everything known to man. He's a body catcher. He's definitely not somebody that I'm high on at all. And I think it's just going to be a rotation.
He is a body catcher. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm being a little harsh by saying he's the worst receiver in the league, but this guy is a body catcher. And, he catches the ball, he looks shocked. But I don't think there's going to be consistency for him. Offered Sun God and Javonte for my Nico and JK. Sun God and Javonte for Nico. I'm taking Nico and JK all day long. The Nico JK side is crushing that trade, bro. It just is right now. It is what it is. Do I trade JK high? Yeah, but only high. Jordan Addison was dropped to waivers. Fab. I don't know, bro. Just put a $0 bid in on him. I don't know that Addison's I don't know. Maybe Naylor's better than him this year. I don't know. I'm not. He's also got a suspension likely to come, I think, still. Smitty, 12-team, Stroud, Kyren, Taylor, St. Brown, Rice, Dell, Kincaid, Jamo, Moss, McConkey, Puka. Traded Flowers in London for Taylor and Dell. I like that a lot. You make your team a lot better. I think you're really strong. Keep that team. Trust in St. Brown. Dell. Keep trusting Dell, Rice. It's a really good squad, bro. Chase Brown owner. That's a really good team. Stroud, Kyren, Dell. That's my team. I think it's good. Nice job. Lucas with a $10 hauler. 0-2. Mahomes, Bijan, JT, Mason, Ford, Garendo, Cup, Dell, Worthy, BT, Kincaid, Aubrey. Any recommendations? I probably stand pat on the QB, running back, quad pod. It's good. Really good. You got Garendo, a smart man. Cup, Dell, you can't look. This is a league-winning team. You could not help the Cup went down. Dell and Worthy and BT and Reed will suffice, bro. That Kincaid, I'm standing down. I'm standing down. This is a fantastic team. Don't get led astray based on thinking you got to make a move. You don't need to make a move. All right, here we go. We got more super chats here to get to. I'm back, Smitty, 2-0 now, baby. AR5, Brees, Monty, Sun God, Rice, Bowers, Yoshivas, 14-team league. Any moves or stand down? I need depth. Yeah, you need depth, but to create that, sometimes you got to hit waivers. I don't necessarily trade for depth. I think trading for depth is wild. Keep that lineup strong. I think your team looks good. I don't think you just keep hitting the waiver wire. Make sure you got, keep your eye on all those running backs that we've been talking about. This is a really strong team. For the most part. Again, you do lack depth, I agree. But Rice, Bowers, Sun God, Monty, Brees, AR5, I'm standing strong with that team, and I'm just hitting that waiver wire like a monster. Every week, comb through the drop players. That might be where your gem falls. I'm telling you, people don't focus enough on the drop players. Every year, think about it. Somebody picks up somebody, you're like, damn it, I didn't know somebody dropped them. You've got to stay vigilant on that, and that will be your saving grace for your depth. $10 hauler, thank you, DB. Tell me I didn't screw up. Chase owner was over him, so I scooped him up for Ayuk, Najee, and Coleman. I think that was a fantastic trade. I think that was a home run. I could see that getting vetoed. That's how good it is. So great job. And I hate vetoes, by the way. Great job, bro. La Raza, appreciate you dropping a super chat here. Let's see here. What is this? Flex. 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Bijan, Mason, Wright, Garendo, Ayuk, Olave, London. Pat Fryman just traded Ayuk and Mason for Olave. No, bro, that was a bad trade. I'm sorry. Raza, I wouldn't lie to you. You traded Mason alone is better than Olave. You gave up Ayuk. Ayuk and Olave's even. You gave up Mason's better than Olave. You gave up maybe the 2 best players in the trade, and you got back 1 lesser player. I'm sorry.
You just
I'm sorry, bro. I appreciate your super chat though, and I hope that doesn't detour you away from super chatting. Again, you're sending me that for my honest take, and that's my honest take. G Money with a $20 hauler in the building. We've got this. I don't know how to say your name. H, appreciate you for your super chat. $20 hauler, got you in the building. Ricky with a $20 hauler, got you right here on the board. Coming for you, pal. Appreciate you. Ricky to the moon. We got Vino with a $20 haul. $20 haulers are coming in strong. Thank you, pal. All right. Michael with the $20 hauler. Michael was first. I'll handle Michael's right now. Michael, thank you, pal, for the 20. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Michael says, traded away Collins and Aaron Jones for Brees and Kirk. Like it. I love Collins right now, like everybody else. So, you hesitate, but it's like, you got to do that. Lineup is Dak, Brees, Stevenson, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, MHJ. What we say about MHJ, Michael? MHJ to the mother freaking moon, bro. Godwin, very good wide receiver for you right now. Great job. Benches, Penix Jr., Darnold. Any other trade suggestions? I would say looking at the squad, bro. Dak is steady, right? Like, I think moving forward, I don't worry about the inconsistencies we've seen so far. I think Dak's a very good buy low QB for people that are in a bind. Dak, Brees, Stevenson, Amon-Ra, MHJ, Godwin, Pitts. It's a good team. It's a really good team. I would probably say the only suggestion would be just think about taking advantage of the Godwin value. But, like, what are you going to send packing? I don't know that there's anything on the bench that you could get much for. Do you throw in Connor or Dobbins with Cooper for Jamar Chase? I don't want to trade Dobbins in this deal, but if it's Dobbins and Cooper for Jamar Chase, like if that's what you're talking about, then I'm okay with that too. Would I rather do Cooper and ETN? I'd rather give up JK than ETN. And some people might disagree, but I think there's injury factor, to consider. He's still the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League. Doesn't matter what he's done through 2 weeks. Doesn't matter how good he does through 8 weeks. He's still one of the most injury-prone running backs in the National Football League. So definitely concerned. 2-0, 10-team full PPR. Lamar, Hall, Achane, London, AJB, Rice, Kittle, benches, Waddle, BT. Good team. Do I trade Brees and BT for K9 and MHJ? No, I don't. Do I love MHJ? Yes. Do I trade? You've got Waddle on your bench. Do I trade Waddle and something? Sure. Waddle and BT for MHJ, 100%. But Brees is like, no way. No way I'm trading Brees Hall on that in that deal. Would I trade maybe, and they might be looking for an RB. So if you were to do this, if you were to trade, let's say you were to trade Brees Hall for MHJ, you need to get something like, honestly, a running back that is almost too good to be true. You know, I don't even know if like a Connor Benson combo would do, but that's like where I guess you could look to. MHJ and the Connor Benson, type of move, and I don't know that what they have. I'm not saying they have that, but I don't know how you're going to trade Brees Hall. It doesn't make sense. K9 doesn't. He's injured right now. I love K9, but he's injured right now. It doesn't make sense. I'm not doing this. BT's too good anyway to just like BT for K9. So you could almost argue that. And so you're going to do MHJ and Brees. You can't. I love MHJ, but you can't. Brees Hall's got to be traded higher. So bring something else to the table, and we'll definitely check it out. Michael Pittman and Braylon Allen for J.K. Dobbins. I'd definitely take J.K. in this situation. I'm always keeping my eyes open for another trade that fits into your team very well. I would definitely do that. G-Money, $20 hauler. G-Money. Hey, Smitty, 2-0. Attaboy. Half PPR. Murray, JD5, Cooper Cup, Deebo. God, you got hit with the Cup, Deebo. The Deebo Cup. Coleman, Dell. At least Dell will be there for you. You got to trust Coleman and Dell. At least you won't have the regret of putting them on the bench when they finally blow up, because you got to start them. Achane, Kyren. God, you got hit. Kyren getting hit with all the side pieces going down. Achane getting his quarterback taken. Like, G-Money, this is one of the most ravaged teams I've seen. I feel bad for you, pal. I have first waiver wire priority. Should I pick up Braylon Allen? I mean, Braylon Allen's got that league-winning potential, bro. I probably would. I love Steele, though. But I would probably take Braylon Allen if I'm you, just because of the ability to win a league off of that. And you need a break, man. Man, poor G-Money. Just getting ravaged in the injuries. Just an absolute straight debacle. But your team still, has it. So stay in it. You're 2-0. $10 hauler, 12-man. PPR, I'm sitting at 2-0 starting. Team is AR5, Mixon, Kyren, MHJ, Deebo, Isaiah, Likely, Flowers. My bench is full. Dortch, Odunze, Mitchell. Who can I drop on the waiver wire? Probably say the lowly guys, Dalton Schultz, man. Dalton Schultz, and then probably I would say Dortch. But I'd probably drop Schultz if I needed to. It's not like he's a guarantee to do anything, and, I don't know. What's up, fam? 12-man PPR, 2 flex. I have Allen, JT, Monty, Spears, Algier, Tyreek, Rice, Godwin, Jamo. Nice team. Made trades after losing Puka, now 1-1. Do I make any moves? I don't think, I would trade Godwin or Jamo with Monty for an upgrade. I'm trying to get Gibbs. I'm trying to buy Kyren low. I'm trying to buy maybe a Bijan using that kind of deal. Godwin may get it done. Godwin and Monty may get that done. Tyreek Hill, I trade him if I can. I don't trade him if I'm not getting what I want. Rice is usually a target, and you've got him, so that's hard to say what I'd do in this. I mean, St. Brown injured might scare the owner, but he should be fine. So you get like a Jacobs and St. Brown for Tyreek Hill, and you rob somebody that way. Past that, I'd stick with the earlier advice I just gave versus doing that, but I'd definitely explore a Tyreek Hill trade. Smitty got offered Diggs plus a Dunze for my Monty. Diggs plus a Dunze for your Monty. Mason, Kyren, Neighbors, Dell, Laporta, Dobbins. I think because you got Dobbins, I don't know that I need Monty in this situation as much as I would want maybe Diggs. Let's see here. Neighbors, Dell. Yeah, I know you want to get rid of one of the Houston Texan players, but I'd probably say, I don't know. Chat, would you rather have Monty or Diggs in this situation? He also gets a Dunze, but it's a wash for me. I probably lean toward keeping Diggs because your running backs are strong. You got JK as your third running back. Smitty got offered Diggs. Oh, that's the same one. So, guys, vote on that one if you could, please. Oscar, appreciate you, Oscar. girlfriend's team is a 12-team PPR. Josh Allen, Hill, DJ Moore, Kyren, Swift, Andrews, Likely, Ford, Kirk, Shakir. What moves? I'd probably say, you're exploring DJ Moore and Swift. Not that you're going to get much for him. Or Andrews and DJ Moore, or DJ Moore and Likely for just one better player. Rashee Rice, Jacobs, players in that territory. Let me pull up my thefantasyfootballshow.com rankings where you can get year-round fantasy football rankings, advice, bold predictions, etc., articles. Go check it out, year-round rankings, thefantasyfootballshow.com. Let me pull up the rankings and to see if I can come up with like a running back. Who's a running back you could go after using DJ Moore? DJ Moore and Swift, DJ Moore and one of the what do we say? DJ Moore and you got Likely and Andrews. So one of the tight ends you could maybe go after. ETN's kind of cheap right now. ETN as an RB, maybe Jordan Mason. Some people freak out about that he has an expiration date. Wide receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr. is off the table now. Garrett Wilson on the cheap, but there's risk involved. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I like buying low. So you could try and trade like Hill for even Amon-Ra and a Jacobs Hill. And, maybe you get ETN and Hill. Maybe you get, the player like that, a Rashee Rice type player with ETN for Hill. Something along those lines, Oscar, maybe. Or just, wait a week and then attack it once some dust settles. Do you suggest selling Dobbins now? And how would you feel about trading Mark Andrews for Bowers? I'd rather have Bowers. Bowers is the number one tight end in the NFL in yardage. And I would trade JK now before it's too late if you're getting a great return. If you're not getting a great return, I wait a week because it doesn't mean just because I think he gets hurt doesn't mean he gets hurt in the next 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. He might last a half a year. So wait until you get the right deal. Would you trade Laporta for Bowers in a dynasty? I would rather have Bowers. Bowers is already proving to be, I think, maybe the dynasty one. A little early to say that, but I would take Bowers in dynasty. I would. 12-man half PPR, 2 QB, Stroud, AJ, AR5, I think you mean, Carr, Stevenson, Warren, Chase Brown, Brooks, Olave, Amon-Ra. What move should you make? Jonathan Brooks is a good sell. Brooks and Olave for an upgraded wide receiver. Jamar Chase comes to mind. Godwin and Brooks, same thing. Jamar Chase comes to mind. Lamb, you could try for Lamb. I don't think you'd get it. AR5, Carr, Stevenson and Godwin for a Gibbs or Bijan or something like that. Like, you're swinging for the fences there, but I'd certainly try. Why not try? Why leave that out there and not explore it? You never know. Godwin, trade Godwin and Walker for St. Brown. I take St. Brown personally, but that's only if you have the depth for it. It's a tough one. That's a really tough one. Godwin and Walker. I mean, because Walker's injured right now, I don't know. Chat, Godwin and Walker or St. Brown? Vote on it, please. Godwin and Walker or St. Brown? Please vote on that one if you could. Let's help out Danny on that one. Can we please talk about how good our Cardinals are? Cardinals not only could win the division, which is such an exciting thing to the words that come out of my mouth. Cardinals might not only win this division because the Rams are in shambles, the Niners are in shambles, and the Seahawks I think aren't. They're good, but I don't think they're great. Cardinals might win the division. Cardinals might be one of the better teams in the NFC this year at the end of the day. This is amazing. This is kind of, we talked about it, like the Cardinals might be the Houston Texans in year one of the rebuild. Or they could be the Lions that take the 1 year and then come in strong the next year. But man, the Cardinals are tearing it up, bro. I'm so excited. Jonathan, let's go to the moon, pal. Kyler Murray looks phenomenal. MHJ's everything we thought he'd be. Team is Lamar, Bijan, Mason, Ford, Garendo, London, Coleman. Traded Mason and Ayuk for Jonathan Taylor. Smitty approved. Mason and Ayuk for Jonathan Taylor. I'm again going to say no, I don't like that. Roz, there's 2 trades in a row. You got to check with me on these. I mean, Mason right now is good, if not better than JT. He's got a potential expiration date, but you grab Garendo, which you do, and you have a safe little player there. And Ayuk, I don't know. You get 2 players there. Chat, would you rather have Mason and Ayuk or Jonathan Taylor? It's not the end of the world. I mean, JT's definitely a good buy low right now, but I don't know that I like that trade at the end of the day for you, especially right now. Maybe later it looks good. It could. AR5, Nico Pittman, Bijan, Achane, Bowers, Deontay Johnson, bench, Dowdle, Ladd, Should I play Ferguson as a flex or trade for a wide receiver? Ferguson for Pickens? I'd probably rather get rid of... He seems a little injury prone right now. I'd probably rather take Pickens. Pickens is not a lock by any means. I'd rather have Dell, to be honest, but maybe you could trade Pickens for Dell, whichever one gets you Dell. $10 hauler, 12-man, 1 PPR. My team running backs are Bijan, White, Jahmyr White, Rashad White, Benson. Wide receivers are Ridley, Worthy, Jamo, Flowers. I don't know what we're doing here with this team. Goddard, would you do an upgrade? I mean, yeah, I don't know what you can do. Rashad White and Ridley. Rashad White, keep Worthy, keep Jamo. Flowers or Ridley, preferably Flowers. You get a big game too, and Rashad White for a Jacobs or higher running back upgrade. That's what you need to do with that team. Just go taking stabs at all those RBs, go all the way up the board. Also, you think there's life for Deontay. I never drafted Deontay, never wanted Deontay, never will want Stone Hands Deontay Johnson. Could he be worthy of a pickup and a bench wide receiver? Sure, but I don't think I'm going to start him. Does he have more value? Maybe in this situation, potentially, but we'll have to see. 10-team PPR, 2 flex, 1 super flex. Mahomes, Gibbs, Stevenson, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Deebo, Pitts, Dell, Devontae Smith, JD5, Worthy, Higgins. Any moves? Honestly, with the injuries, with Deebo and just the way things are going, I really like the way your team feels, and I probably just hang tight unless I can trade Higgins. Now that he's kind of like on the verge of Higgins and Stevenson for a slight running back upgrade, Chase. And you just have to comb through the teams that might need that and come back to me with some names. But definitely think that would be the only move, but a really good move. 12-team PPR 0-2. Fields, London, Olave, Rashad White, Mason, Ferguson, Shaheed, Pickens, Ingram, CMC on the bench, injured. Waivers, trades. You make sure you have Garendo if he's out there, and then try and get Mason. You got Mason, so make sure you get Garendo. I don't see Garendo on your team. What are you doing? I guess I would say with the squad, I'm trying to take advantage of Shaheed's value. Shaheed and Rashad White. Shaheed and maybe, I don't know, Thomas Jr., Shaheed. I don't know if anybody do two wide receivers for one. This is a tough squad, though. Like, there's a lot going on here. I like Olave and London, but clearly they're both underperforming. CMC got hurt. You got hit hard. This team's pretty solid, but, like, just, it's got holes in it, London and Olave are not even tradable. So, this is a tough squad to even trade with. I don't even know what I could come up with here. Shaheed and Olave for St. Brown. I mean, Jamar Chase, I'm trying to get. London and Shaheed for Jamar, like just trying to get Jamar Chase on the cheap, trying to take advantage of London's touchdown, trying to take advantage of Shaheed's 2 weeks. Pickens and Shaheed for a Rashee Rice. Pickens for Worthy. There's not much else you can upgrade here. Try to get a better quarterback. Do I throw in Shaheed? Like, look at who has 2 QBs and try to concoct a trade to give them a wide receiver. And I'm not saying I want to get rid of Olave necessarily, because like then you're even shorter on talent, but go after the Mahomes owner, see if they're tired of Mahomes. Maybe they've got somebody they like on the bench. Go see who has 2 quarterbacks. Someone dropped Ray Davis. I'm picking him up and dropping Garendo. I would not drop Garendo. My team is Josh Allen, JD5, Gibbs, Achane, Wright, Garendo, Dell, Worthy, Coleman, 80 Mitchell. Yeah, you've got it. That's tough, bro. I love Ray Davis, but I don't think I'm dropping. Well, monitor Garendo. You're in a small enough league. I think you're right, actually. If this is the only bench that you have, that this is the entire team, then Garendo will stay on waivers for a little while. But just know that if Mason gets banged up, you got to race to that waiver wire. You might even want to save your money so that you have the most amount of dollars to try and bid him back if you need him. What's their trade value? Bowers, Kincaid, McBride. Bowers, like, people may not know what's happening as much as they should on Bowers. Bowers is turning into maybe the number 1 overall tight end in the league. So he should be getting you something along the lines of a St. Brown in a trade, but no one's going to give that yet, so you're holding on Bowers. Kincaid, he doesn't have any trade value. You got to let him pop off. McBride, same thing. I think Kincaid and McBride will eventually have 4 to 5 round potential equivalent value, so hang tight on that. And the tight end position is not doing very well overall, so people might overpay if there are some players popping off. Would you consider selling Jamar Chase for CMC and Deebo? Trading for injured players like this is never a good idea, bro. 9 times out of 10, you regret it, and the injuries can get worse, and then you're screwed. Do I like the idea of doing it with a lesser player? Sure, but Jamar Chase, absolutely not. You're chasing an ambulance, bro. This is a problem I think a lot of people suffer from, where they look at it and they're like, I could go get these big names. And that's why we do a lot of, hey, sell this guy off, and people in the chat will be like, no one's going to buy him. Look it. We got Ian trying to buy 2 injured players right now using Jamar Chase. Ian, no. Absolutely not. Jeez. And if it's the other way around, then yes, but sometimes people word things weird or I read it wrong. Trade Waddle for Worthy at this point. No. TGM, go get Worthy, but you deserve like a whole other player on top of it. Be smart. When I say go get Worthy, it means go get Worthy, but don't give away something. AR5, MHJ, Chase, Olave, Stevenson, ETN, Ford, Swift, tight end, Kelsey. Should I try and move Chase for Gibbs? Yes, I would love that. And Dell, you get Dell and Gibbs, that'll be a phenomenal move, 100%, bro. I'd even do Kyren and Dell in that kind of situation. Fantastic idea, great trade if you pull it off. Drop who for P. Ryan and Steele? I'd take Steele personally. Tank Big Butt. Who's Tank Big Butt? Tank Bigsby? Chase Brown or Dortch? I'm dropping Dortch probably. Tank Big Back. I don't know what we're doing there. I don't know what we're doing. I've never heard that nickname for either tank. 10 team PPR, 1 flex. Allen, Kyren, ETN, Collins, London, Pickens, Parkinson, bench, Javante. Trying to claim JSN for Kirk. Thoughts? Yeah, I definitely love JSN over Christian Kirk personally. But this team's, got upside. I'm probably trading Najee away with Pickens if I can. Good luck doing it. But London on the high, if you can even get him sold on the high. I like him, though. I'll buy him low, too. I like London. It's just London and Najee for like one player, a Jacobs or a JT or a St. Brown injured. I say St. Brown injured because I want to emphasize that I understand a healthy St. Brown is hard to acquire, but an injured St. Brown, hence why I emphasize that, is a lot easier to get right now because people are panicked about him. Dylan, I definitely think there's some moves to be made along those avenues, but if you have anything specific, bring it to me and I'll shoot it down or approve it or come up with another idea too. Braylon Allen for J.K. Dobbins, of course, bro, but who's going to do that? Vino, did you cook this up last night when you were sitting up, couldn't sleep, and you thought, I got a great idea, and you wrote a Jerry Maguire memo, and you said, hey, I think I'll trade Braylon Allen for Dobbins. If you pull this off, Vino, we're all going to take a lap because we don't know what world we're living in. We're apparently living in bizarro world, and you're the king of it. 12 PPR, Hurts, Pacheco, Achane, JJ, Rashee Rice, Monty, Ford, Moss, Shaheed, Dowdle, Reed, Wright, and what do I do, man? God, it hurts to see some of this, man. I don't think you can do much. Maybe you're trading Monty and Shaheed for a tiny upgrade. Maybe you're trading Moore and Monty for a tiny running back or wide receiver upgrade. You kind of got a need at all positions. Monty and Achane's decent. JJ, Rashee Rice. I mean, you got a solid team in terms of that. So I'm not going to dismantle anything. But Pacheco going down killed you. Go get Steele off waivers. Try and get Steele and P. Ryan. Put in claims for both of them. Drop a kicker if you got to do that. Reed and Monty for one. Jacobs or JT or injured St. Brown. All those avenues I would explore. My guy Oscar, how much fab for Braylon Allen? Only you can know that, bro. The only thing I can tell you is the odds of him being the best pickup of the year, there's a potential 8 sitting here. Now, he's not, Brees isn't hurt. If Brees went down, we'd be sitting here going, this is the best pickup of the year, probably outside of Mason. But right now, because we have no injury, it limits the ability to say that, but he's definitely got this 8. Steele has about an 8. Mason was a 10. Even in retrospect, especially, Mason was a 10. Best pickup of the year. The odds of being the best pickup of the year. That is our scale. That's the best I can tell you. Only you know historically what that means. What's that command? Has anybody dropped a full low drop before on a guy like Braylon Allen? Probably not. I would imagine 20-30%. But, bro, only you know that. I'd be guessing and making up a number that's not even helpful because I don't know your historical data in terms of ad drop. waiver wire, money being dropped. 199 from Jim. Appreciate you dropping that, or what's your name? Thank you for dropping that super chat, pal. $5 hauler, traded Maya Dunze and Mostert. Don't have Achane for Worthy. Love it. Love it. Also sell high on Neighbors. Try to get Chase and Bowers. Good luck on that one. And I don't need to sell high on Neighbors, but I would consider that a good trade. But your first trade was phenomenal. Excellent job. Anthony with the super chat. Mahomes, Gibbs, Achane, Rice, Goddard, bench, Sharps, and he moves. No. I'm not trading Mahomes, Gibbs, Achane, Barkley, and Rice. Fill those other holes by smashing the waiver wire or believing in Scary Terry for 1 week or believing in Keon Coleman for 1 week. I'm not moving that team because it requires moving those studs in those other positions, and I would just try my best through waivers to smash those other positions. Grab the Rams wide receivers. 80 Mitchell could be on waivers. He might be your saving grace at wide receiver. Mahomes, CMC, Connor, Deebo, Cup, Laporta, Devontae Smith, Keenan Allen, Mostert, Charbonnet. What's the move here? All the injuries. Yeah, you got to just, bro, you got ravaged. Laporta, Devontae Smith. What are you going to do? How you going to trade in these guys? You got Mason. Make sure Garendo's on your roster. What in the hell's going on there? But I think I'd probably sit this out and wait because Deebo could be back. Cup, unless you're trading Cup and maybe Keenan Allen. Cup and Keenan Allen for one wide receiver like a Rashee Rice. I would definitely take Rashee Rice over Cup. And if you give somebody something else, it might make them do that trade. You do a 1-for-1, it may not make them do that trade. Obviously, I would take a few other players like DK, etc. So, maybe explore Cup and something like Keenan Allen. Don't give anything bigger than that to make somebody do a Cup trade because a 1-for-1 ain't going to happen. Hurts, Gibbs, Mason, Dobbins, Charbonnet, Mostert. Look at this team here. Any moves? Laporta. I like the squad. Amari Cooper and maybe a Dobbins for one big monster. Past that, bro, I'm kind of standing down. Maybe you trade Amari Cooper and, I don't know, Reed and Cooper for CMC in your situation, maybe something like that, Boone. That might be a move. You're one of the only people I'd tell you to go get CMC, but not for something big. 10-man, 3 wide receiver, Hall, Kyren, Mixon, Rice, Flowers, BT. I know I need a wide receiver, but not sure how to trade him or make a move for one. It would probably be something along the lines, bro, since you have 2 RBs. It would probably be something along the lines of trading Mixon and Flowers for a wide receiver like St. Brown. Injured. People worried. You've got Rice already. I love the idea of Flowers on top of Rice, to be honest with you. I'm sorry, of Worthy. So like Flowers for Worthy and something. I think Worthy's lesser value. Mixon and Flowers for Worthy and something. Do a 2-for-2 trade. I don't mind going after wide receivers that make sense for you. Going after maybe an Evans, Mike Evans on the cheap, a DK Metcalf using Flowers, and Mixon should get you like a Garrett Wilson. You could take that gamble. Mixon and Flowers for Garrett Wilson potentially, and maybe another player. Devontae Smith and Connor for Jamar Chase. I'd rather have Jamar Chase, but this is close because of A.J. Brown being out multiple weeks. That means at least this next week and maybe another one, and that's being safe about it. I don't know. So Devontae Smith has increased value. He obviously proved that last night. However, even last night he didn't exactly explode. So I'll take the Jamar Chase upside. And Jamar Chase, as disappointing as he is, he seems to come around. At some point he comes around. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate you guys all. I'm going through them in order in which they're received. Appreciate you very much. There's definitely a backlog of them, so don't think I didn't get to yours. Just hang tight. Stan Pat, QB Stroud and Fields, running back Achane, Ramondre, Javonte, Charbonnet, Warren, Garendo, AJB, Nico, Waddle, Worthy, Shaheed, Ingram, likely Waddle for Laporta. I'd definitely take the likely Waddle side over Laporta. I'd rather have, you can't get rid of Waddle. I don't think that's a smart move. I think Waddle should be traded, but I think you're giving likely away as if likely doesn't have a shot at being a very, very solid tight end all year long. And Laporta, as much as I like him, isn't exactly doing what we would have wanted him to do. Not saying to panic on that if you own him, but I don't know that I'm making that trade. Smitty, let me know. I trade Waddle, though, just not for that trade. Let me know your opinions on this trade offer after your advice. Cook and Walker for Hall. I would rather have Breece Hall. Gibbs owner is lacking running back, wide receiver. JJ Worthy owner is weak at running back. I was offered... Who is that? I was offered... Is that Tank? I think this is Tank. Tank Dell and Kelsey for Flowers. I'd take Tank Dell and Kelsey and run. Absolutely run, bro. Absolutely run. That's a phenomenal trade. I think that was Tank Dell. Prodigy, appreciate you. Mason for Zay. I take Mason in a heartbeat. Easy call. Easy peasy, bro. Jacinto, appreciate you. Waddle, trade ideas. Puka, JK, Pickens, Jacobs. Waddle for Jacobs is nice. Waddle for Rashee Rice. You could even get more. Waddle for Garrett Wilson. Waddle for Worthy and something. Waddle for Tank Dell and something significant. Those are all moves that I would be tempted to make. I know some people wouldn't, and I don't really care, honestly. If they don't want to do it, I do. Thomas missed first part of Super Chat. Trade running back Nico or London. Trade running back for Nico or London. If I was to trade a running back, Thomas, let me see. Put it in the Super Chat again if you could versus having to go hunt it down. Because it just might give you a delay on getting the response. So, let's see here. Thomas. Yeah, Thomas, put it in there next time rather than just tell me I missed it because then I got to go look for it. You could just set it in here. Trade, I think here it is. Trade help. Achane, Kyren, McBride. What is the question? Trade running back for Nico or Dell. So of your running backs, Achane, Kyren, Jacobs. Jacobs for Nico would be awesome. For London, I don't think I'm trading a running back for London that you have. Would I trade Mason or Jacobs for London and something? Maybe, but I like the idea of Nico. Would I trade Mason for Nico? I think Mason and Nico are very close as well. Very close as well. Okay, how much fab on Carson Steele? Again, guys, I can't tell you how much fab. I can only tell you that Carson Steele does feel like an 8 out of 10 for being the best pickup of the year. He would be a 10 out of 10 if he was anointed the starter, or 9 out of 10 if he was anointed the starter. But that's the only thing I can tell you. There's not much to go on yet because we don't know who's the guy, so you can't do a full load drop, I don't think. Well, maybe you can. It depends on if you think there's going to be no other better pickups for the rest of the year. So Carson Steele is a definite amazing pickup, but you need to historically know if full load drops are even a requirement in your league. I play in a league where the most you'll ever need to drop is like 40% or 50%. You'll never ever. Denny, I'm in the middle of Super Chats. I can't do the phone line right now, but I wanted to say hello. Appreciate you. You have 10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds?
Yep.
One. Help me, Tom Cruise. Help me, Carson Steele. Help me, Carson Thomas. How's that?
Thank you. That's perfect.
Carson. Help me, Skylar Thomas. Help me, Tom Cruise. Okay. Next meeting.
Later, Denny. Call back. I don't know what he's saying about Tom Cruise, to be honest with you. Carson Steele, Piff, go get Carson Steele, but I can't tell you the amount. Only you can know that. You got to look at what's the highest somebody's been, bid on this year. That's going to help you if you just go straight for that information and see what's what. $20 haulers. We got one from Cody. Cody gets immediate attention now. Cody, appreciate you dropping the 20 watt on screen. Tom Cruise. 808 guy with a $20 hauler. I just saw that 808. Thanks for dropping that. I'm combing through the super chats to find any $20 haulers. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you. Luke with the $20 hauler. He gets immediate attention as well. Luke is the man, the myth, the legend. Luke is my guy. Luke, appreciate you. Okay, Luke says, watching from the vape shop. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate you. Luke, is there any names I could shout out of people in the store? Let me know. I definitely love to shout their names out. Let me know in the chat real quickly. I'll be glancing over. Put their names in. Bill Stevens, Tommy Regino, Bill Balake. Tell me if there's any people I can shout out in the vape shop. I will shout their names out right now. Let's see here. 10-man, 0.5 3 wide receiver league, QB Mahomes, Barkley, Ford, JJ, Cup, Godwin, Kincaid, Pickens. Not much to move here. Was offered Rice and Kyren for Barkley. I would take Rice and Kyren for Barkley. Smash that trade. That's exactly what I would do, bro. It's a really good squad. Let's see if Luke's got any names for us. I don't see anybody. He didn't throw anybody out there. Shake and bake, says Matt. Do it live. Luke says Angel, Tyler, and Ricky. Hey, Angel. Hey, Tyler and Ricky. I appreciate you visiting the shop today, pal. This is live. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Angel, Tyler, and Ricky. Let's send Angel, Tyler, and Ricky to Mars.
To Mars.
We got a whole shop listening to us live every day. It's fantastic. Hey, we got how many people we got in here? 1,000 people. We've had 1,000 to 2,000 people in the live stream at any one time. 1,003 if you include Angel, Ricky, and who was it again? I forget. I'm sorry. What's the value of Mason, Achane, Gibbs, or Hall? What's the value? I mean, they're all different. That's a loaded question. They're potential top 5 running backs right there, right? All of them. So, talking about wide receivers, you got to go to the tune of a top 5 wide receiver if you're going to trade one straight across. You have MHJ, but Cup's hurt. Waddle, Tank, low value right now. Would you go for Amon-Ra, Rice, or JJ with an RB? Hunter Henry, put on. Do I say put on the trade? Do I say put on trades? 808 guy, you got a little predictive text problem here on this message. It's kind of a word salad. I would say if you're asking me if I should trade one of the running backs to go get a wide receiver, so Amon-Ra, Rice, or JJ with an running back, word salad, I would say if I'm trading a RB, it's not Gibbs, it's probably not Hall, it's probably not Achane. I hate trading Mason, but I would trade Mason for an injured St. Brown. I would trade Mason for Rice and something. I would trade, but it have to be something significant. I would trade Mason for JJ straight up. And I'd consider trading maybe Breece Hall for like JJ straight up, maybe. But I'd probably rather get something back. But it's very even. I don't hate a wide receiver trade if it's JJ. I don't mind that. It's kind of a crafty move in a way, but I'm also much more interested in trying to do, something that doesn't involve that. Appreciate you, Smitty. Told me to stand down with a good team. How much fab on Steele? I don't know the amount. I can only tell you that he has that 8 out of 10 vibe of being the best pickup of the year. But it's hard to know. We don't know if P. Ryan's the guy. You'll have to comb through your waiver wire and see what the highest bid has been so far on a player. I say he does potentially require or deserve that value. So maybe that value I would look at, but that's it. I don't think I'd go dropping a full low drop if I don't need to. Go check and see what the highest bid has been so far. Ziggy, show me the front door. I hope I didn't lock my Smitty out. I don't think I did. Okay. Ziggy off. Looks like it might rain. Okay, 10-team full PPR, $20 hauler from the Codemeister. Have Mahomes, Jacobs. I think we got a $49 hauler from Myra over in the corner there. Myra, I'm gonna pull up your super chat 1 second. 2 flex. I have Mahomes, Jacobs, Monty, Lamb, Rice, Devontae Smith, J-Mo, Kincaid, Deontay. Put on waiver claims for Braylon Allen, Parkinson, Chandler, City got 0-2. I definitely get Allen. Allen's a league winner potentially. Allen has that like 9 out of 10 vibe to me of being the best pickup of the year. Mason clearly has been a 10 out of 10. I think Allen's a 9 out of 10 of being potentially the best pickup of the year. Carson Steele sitting at a 7-8 only because we don't know if he's a starter, just to give you a feeling of vibes on that. I would say as far as trades here, I like this team a lot. I'm very tempted to keep Lamb, Rice, and Devontae Smith together. And Kincaid, don't sell them low. J-Mo and Brooks, or Monty and Brooks and J-Mo, Monty and J-Mo for one bigger, stronger, better player is what I'm trying to do. JT, St. Brown, Jamar Chase, Jahmyr Gibbs type player for that combo there. Jacobs is sitting that player, a running back like that next to Jacobs would be phenomenal. Would be a great move. And let's scroll on down and pull any $20 haulers onto the board. And any $50 haulers if we find them. Oh, there's one. It's from Myra. Traded Jamo for Godwin straight up. I don't hate this either way. I think that Jamo's fantastic. Godwin is playing fantastic. This is a very arguable trade. And let's take it to the chat to give you the best advice possible, because our chat is the best chat in the world. We've got 1,100 people in the chat right now. By the way, we've got a 29,000. We hit 29,000 on the live stream. Let me move Pacheco's mug out of the way. And Deebo. 29,000 people are following this channel now. And we were at 27,000 like a week ago. We're at 29.162. 29,162. We can get to 29.2 on this live stream if the 1,100 people in here, there's about 30 or 40% of you that just haven't subscribed yet. You watch every day or you just found the channel. Hit subscribe and let's climb this to 29,000.2. That's 40 subscribers away. Let's do it in the next 5 minutes. So just hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you. And Myra, back to this. Can I get the 1,100 people in here, just a handful of you at least, to help Myra and send a little vote? Of the 1,209 of you in here, can I get you to subscribe, hit the like button, but also tell Myra whether you think Myra did good or not. Jamo for Godwin, Godwin for Jamo. What side would you rather have? And thank you, Rick, for subscribing. This is 10 of you just subscribed. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, everybody. This is a tough call. Godwin gets a vote. There's somebody that's voting Godwin. Keep voting. Let Myra see it. Jamo, Godwin, 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 Godwin. Get Bijan, Godwin, Godwin. There you go. Myra, you got a stamp of approval from the chat. They want Godwin. It's a good move. Either way, I like both those players, so fantastic. And appreciate you dropping that $50 hauler. I'm going to send you to Mars.
To Mars.
Send you to the moon.
To the moon.
How about Saturn?
To Saturn.
Myra, appreciate you dropping amazing super chat goodness on the screen. Fern with a $5 hauler. Appreciate you, Smitty. I appreciate you. You told me to stand down. Oh, I already got that one. Okay. This one's from Riser. I got offered trade Mason for both Worthy and JSN. I'd rather have Mason and pick up Garendo. I only have JJ. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing that trade. Pick up Garendo. Hold Mason. Mason's got to have a big week. Maybe we explore trading Mason next week because I think he has a huge week. 12-man full PPR. Hurts, Gibbs, Javonte, AJB, Ayuk, Jamison Williams, Rashee Rice, Scary Terry. Should I even burn my number one waiver on Steele? I probably would consider it. I guess I'd ask this question, Cheddar. Do you feel like your league is so stingy there's barely ever anybody on the waiver wire? Or do you feel like, you got to answer an honest question, do you feel like your league always does have somebody good there? If that's the case, maybe wait. If it feels like stingy, then I'd probably take a chance that Steele, who is ranking about 8 for me, is the top pickup of the week. So I probably would go pick him up. Probably would do it live. But O'Grady, I got another $50 hauler from Myra over in the corner here. I see it. Here we go. Going to Mars again, are we?
To Mars.
Get lammed.
All right. We got Myra just dropping super chat wattage. Here we go. Smitty got Hurts, Brees, Gibbs, JJ, Nico, McBride, Godwin, Monty, Allen, Steele, Carr. Thoughts? Rate my team 1 to 10. Chat, can you rate this team 1 to 10? For Myra, dropping $50 wads on the screen. Hurts, Brees, Gibbs, JJ, Nico, McBride, Godwin, Monty. I'm going to say 9. Well, I can't give 8.8 is the highest I've ever given this year. I don't know if I'm going over the 8.8 unless somebody just completely annihilates. And I sometimes someone has the best team I've ever seen, and I don't even get an 8.8 because I'm like, you're playing with grandmas. So I can't give you an 8.8. But I'm going to say 8.8. 8.8, you get the tie for the highest score. And this is not because you dropped two $50 haulers. I'm very honest about I get $20 haulers where I send people on laps. I feel bad about it, but I do it. I'm honest. This team is at 8.8. You got some 10s and 8s and 8.4 and 8. Absolute amazing squad. Everyone's ranking you in the 8s. But I say 8.8, which is the highest score I've given this entire year. Because your team is absolutely phenomenal. And it's not too good to where we know you're just taking advantage of Aunt Edna and your father, who doesn't even play fantasy football, he's a Packer fan, so he drafts all Packers. Like, those are the situations where I don't give someone a high score because I know they're playing with, people that don't know what they're doing. I can tell this team is very well built, drafted the right players at the right spots, and you deserve the 8.8. And Myra says, A.J. Brown and A.J. Brown now rated. Now we're getting to the point where you're playing with some grandmas. If A.J. Brown's also on this team, Myra, you might have lowered it to an 8.7 because just by adding the extra player that there's no way you should draft that team. No, it's 8.8 straight across the board. No doubt about it. Fantastic squad. Tate says Kittle for Goddard and J-Mo. I'd rather have Goddard and with Deebo injured right now, I don't know. I really like J-Mo though. I'm gonna go Goddard and J-Mo and bank on that a little bit. Tyreek for Alexander Madison and Tank Dell. No, come on, bro. Come on. Like, sell Tyreek is one thing, but and I love Tank Dell, but Madison, what's Madison? What's Madison? Bijan, Gibbs, Cup, Smith, Kincaid, Pickens, JSN, Dobbins. Any moves? Was thinking of Pickens and JK for Chase. I love that idea. Pickens and JK for Chase. I'm going to Smitty approve that as well. Would I also do like a Cup and JK for Chase? They might see that as better because when Cup comes back, they get Cup. I would do that. That would be unbelievable. Do either one of those. I even maybe consider the first one throwing in Brooks. If they throw in something just to give him that extra appeal. Should I drop Corum or for Garendo? Because you have Mason, it's kind of almost a must, but I would almost say like drop your kicker for now, Victor, and then allow yourself to work some trades out, versus rushing yourself. But definitely feel like you got to do that. $5 hauler from whatever this name is. Appreciate you though. I have Wright, Benson, Whittington, Garendo, Pierce, Love, Keenan, Allen on my bench. Who should I drop for steal? I'd probably say Pierce. I hate doing it. I like Pierce, but I'd probably drop Pierce. It's a pretty easy call. Chad, appreciate you with the super chat. Chad to the moon. Mahomes, Derrick Henry, Mason, CD, Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, Kincaid, bench. Keep hitting that subscribe button, guys. We got 29,174 of you. Appreciate every single one of you. 0-2, first waiver claim. I want Shaheed. Any thoughts on moves? Well, full load drop on Shaheed if that's your player, and he's done two weeks in a row. Remarkable things. I do think there's a shot that he kind of dwindles, but he's definitely worth it, I guess. Make sure you get Garendo if you don't have him. Garendo's a must as well. But your team's really good. I like to get Worthy in your lineup, so if that means trading away, let's call it Walker or Henry with maybe a, I don't know, Walker and Henry for maybe both of them for one player. If someone needs running backs and they've got Gibbs or they've got JT, you could do Walker and Henry for that player for Kyren Williams, and then you put Worthy in your lineup, but also grab Garendo. I would go at every running back that's from Breece Hall down to JT and see if you can get that pulled off. Even Barkley, Henry and Walker for Barkley. I think those are kind of costly moves too, so they should maybe get done. Solid squad. Definitely go get Shaheed if that's your player, but make sure you do not leave Garendo out there. Give Rice plus Pacheco, get ETN and Bigsby. I like Rice as much as I like ETN, I'm not going to lie. And I'm worried about ETN, so I'd almost say no. And Pacheco, you almost got to think about him not coming back, but I'm probably going to say I'd rather have Rice. I like ETN a lot, but this feels like a timeshare. ETN, and let me look up ETN stats. I almost even forget what his entire line was last week. What did he end up finishing with? This might surprise me in either direction. He did have the touchdown, though. 52 yards and a touchdown. Back-to-back weeks with a touchdown. It's not like you're smashing at wide receiver, though, either, You get rid of Rice, and it's like you got J-Mo, Dell, and T. Higgins. You're hurting at wide receiver. I'm going to say no, but maybe make them overpay. Maybe they want to do the trade so bad that they'll give you something else, but that's hard to pull off with that team. Mahomes, Bijan, Achane, Garrett Wilson, Neighbors, Kittle, Mason. Love this team. DK on the bench. Almost feel like you got to get DK in the lineup somehow. So maybe you're trading away Garrett Wilson and I don't know. What do you do here? You can't really. There's not much to do. You know what? Keep the depth. I like this team. Your team's good. You're going to need the depth. Injuries are crazy this year. Maybe, this is the year we don't get rid of that extra player. We look at the bench and we're like, you got to get that guy in your lineup somehow. Maybe we just hold off right now. Garbage trade in my league to Tyler Johnson for Andrews. But Scotty, what do you want to do? Veto it? You want to control what people think? What if Tyler Johnson becomes the guy? I remember, I don't know if you guys were around when Marcus Colston rose up, or even when St. Brown rose up, and we were big on that. No one knew St. Brown was coming, but we did. He felt like Tyler Johnson feels like right now. Like, those things happen. You never know. You can't control. And Andrews could go get out, suffer an injury tomorrow and be out for the year. And this guy could have got Tyler Johnson. And who knows if he does anything, but someone's going to be the benefactor of having no wide receivers in LA. And I just think that, I hope you're not in a situation where that's getting vetoed, because vetoes are garbage. Vetoes are the garbage. Would you rather have Chase Brown or Jamar Chase or St. Brown? I'd rather have Jamar Chase. I would even give up a little bit because I think he does come around at some point. Jennings, Whittington, or Cowing. I like Cowing as a crafty go-get player. That's why he's on this waiver wire board. I don't know what I put him at as terms of being a league, best pickup of the year. We're talking about there's a 4 or 5 chance right now. But I still like him a lot. But would I say it's Whittington? Probably Whittington. I'd probably take the gamble on him, but I like Cowing a lot. If your gut tells you Cowing, I know you're a Niner fan, I'm not mad at you for going Cowing, but I bet you can get them both. I don't know. Drop Chase Brown for Steele, P. Ryan, Braylon Allen, Rams wide receivers. I would probably say give me Braylon Allen if you're in the long game here. If you need the production now, Steele. But those are the two guys of that I would grab for sure. This is a $10 hauler. Bench. What would you do in this situation? I probably would say I'm keeping the QB situation. I'm probably looking to upgrade ETN in a deal if I can, because your wide receivers are off the hook. Neighbors, Lamb, MHJ, love it. McBride, keep it. So looking at your bench, I don't think there's anything that can make this move happen, and I don't want to trade the starters. So I'm going to hold tight and say Mason, ETN, do it live. You got Ingram, stand down.
Alert, stand down order.
Or Grendo, I meant Grendo, not Ingram. You got did you have Ingram? Is that why I said that? No. You got Grendo, so you're standing down. Stand down. Don't do it. Keep your team. 12-team PPR, Mahomes, Purdy, Bijan, Achane, Mostert, Wright, Rice, Worthy, Dell, J-Mo. First waiver priority, 0-2. Pick up Lionheart. Yeah, I probably would. Or Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen's the long game move, but you don't necessarily need RBs right now. I'd probably go Braylon Allen if I'm you, but man, I want both of them. Put claims in both of them. Drop Purdy for Fields. I'd probably keep Purdy for a steady production purpose, but I mean, I don't hate the move, but it's a good team. Stand down. Have Evans and Godwin. Should I look to trade one of these two in a package for someone like Jamar Chase? Yeah, absolutely. Or Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, you could get straight up for Evans or Godwin potentially, bro. So don't be doing package. Maybe something small. But for Chase, yeah, I would throw something with Godwin to get Chase. I would. Try for it straight up. Evans, I think Godwin and Evans are closer than you think, but I would definitely rather have Evans, I think. But I would want to go after Jamar Chase or St. Brown using Godwin, and I would throw something together. I also have CD, but my running backs are Walker and ETN. Yeah, I don't know what you got to throw in, but definitely Smitty approved your thinking there at least, even though you didn't give me any specifics. But all right, let me see if we got any $20 super chats. We are all cleared up on those. Guys, I'm getting to you as soon as I can. There's a backlog of supers. I'm coming as fast as I can. I have the number 1 pick on waivers aimed to get Carr, but since I have Stroud, why would you aim to get Carr if you have Stroud? I'll go after these other potential winners for you. Should I aim for Steele? Yeah. Quentin Johnson, not very interested in him. Braylon Allen, absolutely. Mike Gesicki, P. Ryan, sure. They're all the players available. I'm going after Braylon Allen or Steele, depending on whether you need the production now in Steele, then I take it, or you take the Braylon Allen route, which is the league winner, and it feels like it's scratching at a 9 out of 10 of being the best pickup of the year. Mason's a 10 out of 10 for context, and Steele is also an 8-ish right now because he doesn't have the job locked down, just to give you context on that. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. Overcome with a $5 hauler says, want to start throwing 2025 picks around in Dynasty. Happen to know what we're all looking at next year's rookie draft. It's solid, bro. We're going to be doing a whole rookie breakdown. It's too hard to do that in a super chat, but it's a good crew. There's definitely some talent, some wide receivers. There's going to be a couple running backs that we're looking at. It's definitely a good crowd, but it depends what you're getting. If you're buying low on Kyren's and Achane's, and MHJ would have been perfect before this week. Like, yeah, I'm in on that. But am I trying to get like mediocre talent? Derrick Henry's to win now. Like, no, I'm waiting on the rookie picks because there'll be some solid players. 0-2. Look for the rookie content. It usually drops in December, January. 0-2. Mahomes, Jacobs, Monty, CD, Rice, Devontae Smith, J-Mo, Kincaid, JSN, Brooks, IR, Garendo, IR Brooks, Garendo. Trades, Devontae Smith, Rice, CD are fantastic. Jacobs, Mahomes, fantastic. Monty, I don't necessarily need to get rid of him, but do I trade a J-Mo and Monty for a JT, for a Amon-Ra, St. Brown, for a Jacobs type player? You already got Jacobs, so Kyren, Achane, absolutely. Barkley, sure. Throw all those at the wall. Throw in a little more if you need to get that done, but those are the trades that I'm smashing. Do you trust JK as a must start? For right now, yeah, JK is a must start right now until he gets injured. He probably will get injured, so I'm trading him high, but I let him build value before I trade him low. So for right now, he's an absolute must start for sure. He's looking really good. Talking a trade where I give London in return, receive BT, BT plus something. What else could I add? Could I ask for? He has Tank Dell, handful of picks. I would take BT and Tank Dell for London. I think that's a really good move. I like that a lot. That gives you two players. You're diluting London in case he busts. You got two players. BT's playing great. Dell, I think, is going to bounce back. So I would do that move. Trade ideas 2-0 in a 12-man PPR. Hurts, Kyren, Achane, Dowdle. Wide receivers are Cup, J-Mo, Worthy, Coleman. I probably hang tough unless I can get rid of Dowdle and Keenan for one player. Unless I could trade maybe a Cooper Cup and a J-Mo, or a Cooper Cup and ETN maybe. I keep Worthy. I keep J-Mo if I can. But would I trade Cooper Cup and J-Mo right now for a St. Brown because somebody's getting J-Mo, so they feel good, and they're getting Cup for later? They're not going to trade you Cup for one player straight up. Nobody wants to take on that risk. But you add in J-Mo and make somebody do something they shouldn't do, like Jamar Chase or St. Brown potentially, or Marvin Harrison Jr. last week as an example of something that could have been pulled off. So that's the only way to trade Cooper Cup right now. In a 2-for-1 where you give Cup and somebody to somebody for a doubted player, an injured player like St. Brown. Thinking of dropping Hopkins for Braylon Allen. I don't mind that at all. I like that move. Watson for Yoshivas. I don't mind that at all. I have MHJ, Jamar, Achane, Stevenson. Yeah, I Smitty approved both those moves. I like Yoshivas. We were high on him walking into week 1. He crapped the bed and everybody cut him. And then he does great. He does what we thought he'd do in week 2 in week 1. It's crazy. Traded Adams, Fields for Mostert for Bijan. Fields, what? Traded Adams, Fields, and Mostert for Bijan? Absolutely amazing. Any suggestions? I don't know. Celebrate. Open a bottle of champagne. Nice bottle of Candy. And go to town. Wow. Farver beans. Throw Farver beans, a bottle of Candy. Start celebrating. Lamar, Daniels, Bijan, Gibbs, A.J. Brown, Godwin, McLaurin, McBride. I think I stand down on this unless I can get rid of A.J. Brown and something. But what are you going to get rid of? You know what I mean? Like A.J. Brown and Godwin for Jamar Chase? But A.J. Brown might not be out that long, but that's something I'd entertain. But that's really it. I mean, stand down with that team. It's a really, really good team. Really good squad. All right, here we go. More super chats. I'm trying my best to get these knocked down, guys. Appreciate you being in here. Okay, 10-team PPR. Kyler, Achane, Brees, MHJ, Waddle, Mason, benches, Jamar Chase, Najee, Amari Cooper, Kirk. Moves, scared for Waddle. I would be too. Waddle and Amari Cooper. Waddle and Najee for one player. Deebo is probably coming back after 1 or 2 weeks, he says, but who knows? I'm keeping Kyler, keeping Achane, keeping Breeze, keeping MHJ, keeping Mason. Waddle is definitely the move here. Waddle and Amari Cooper, Waddle and Najee. Try and get a St. Brown. Try and get Waddle for Rashee Rice straight up if you're scared about it. That's probably the best move for you. I've been recommending that, but I try and get more if I can. I've seen Tank Dells get thrown into that deal too. What can I give up for a top 3 QB? Fields, Connor, Mason. There's nothing. No one's going to trade you. No one's going to take Fields on unless you go to a team that has 2 quarterbacks. So the only thing you can do, and we got to start there. I can't even tell you, go get this player. You got to start where somebody's got 2 quarterbacks. No one's taking a downgrade. I don't think. It's going to be really hard to get someone to invest in Fields right now. Go see if Cousins and Penix Jr. are on waivers to cuff together. Yeah. I mean, really, it's really the only. You got to tell me who to go. What's Burrow? What's Burrow doing at the bottom of your bench here? What can I give up for a top 3 QB? So you have Burrow. Okay, you just listed him at the end of this. You have Fields up here, you have Burrow down here. Burrow may get it done. Burrow and let's say Ayuk for a Mahomes or Hurts or Josh Allen who have been kind of like this to people. They're a little bit worried about him. We're 2 weeks in. So that's probably what I'd do. I wouldn't give up Jacobs. Don't give up Ayuk. Don't give up Connor, really, because you got Benson. Don't give up Mason. Don't give up Sun God. Don't give up Rice. I would contemplate Kelsey to upgrade Burrow. Snoopy with a super chat. He offered Diggs and Jacobs for Hall. Still not enough. Diggs offered Diggs and Jacobs for Hall. I'd rather have Hall, but it's arguable. If you did either side of that, I would send you on a lap or anything. But I'm just not trading Hall. Trade Hill for Gibbs. I would rather have Gibbs in a heartbeat with Tyreek Hill's situation. Just traded Zay Flowers, Dobbins for Jamar Chase. Smitty approved. Absolutely. Absolutely smashed that trade. Fantastic job. Go on a victory lap. Arthur, appreciate you. Smitty, Juwan Jennings, a waiver wire ad. Yeah, he is. I don't know how high I have him. I have him like right around the middle of the pack, above Atwell. Maybe right around Wicks. Cowing and Jennings are kind of neck and neck, I think. They're kind of like side by side here. So, I don't know. He's got potential value, but Jennings has never been like a dominant player. A lot of Niner fans think he's a dog, though. They're like, he's such a dog. He's a third down dog. You got Kincaid and Bowers. Trade Kincaid. Yeah, but you might have to wait a week. I'd rather wait a week and have him bust out and have a big game than to trade him on the low, but certainly shop him. Like I'm trying to get a Rice, or I'd take like a Worthy and something. I'd take Worthy and Dell together. I'd take a Walker injured or something if you needed a running back. Should I trade away JJ for Barkley and Worthy? I would take Barkley and Worthy. That's a good move especially if I remember your team correctly. You might need the depth. Barkley and Worthy is good enough. That's a really good trade. That's a really good trade for you. You missed my super chat. Witty says, did I? Are you sure? Let me look for it, Witty. If I had $1 for every time somebody said this. Witty says, maybe Witty. Witty, there's only this super chat. This is the only super chat you sent. Your first one didn't go through, apparently. You have this right here where you say Masonites. Masonites. Thank you, Witty. Appreciate you. I don't see one. Yeah, I searched. Those are the only 2 messages you've had. They probably didn't go through. G-Man, appreciate you. What value? J.K. Dobbins. I think I answered this one. Rice would be fantastic. Someone's done Worthy and Dell. I've seen that one. I've got a quarterback upgrade. I've seen J.K. go for J.K. and something for ETN. I've seen ETN and J.K. straight up. So there's definitely moves to be made, and I'd rather have ETN. I like J.K., but I think he gets hurt at some point. What value to move J.K.? Just did that one. Thank you, G-Man. Appreciate you. This one's from Jorge. Would you trade Coleman right now? Would you trade for Coleman right now? I mean, he's like a waiver wire guy. So, like, what are you going to give up? I like Coleman still, but I'm not, like, going to give up much for him. I suppose you have to give me an option, but, like, he's cellar dweller pricing right now. 12-team, 0-2. I do like him, though. Lamar, J85, Ridley, Olave, Dobbins, Achane, White, Kincaid, CMC, Addison. What do you do here? Bro, I guess you would maybe try and trade. I don't know. There's not much to move here. CMC to the Mason owner and try and do something there. Olave and Dobbins for a monster like Gibbs or something. Or Bijan. Maybe one of the quarterbacks in Olave to get a Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase for Olave and some move would be a good move. Appreciate you. Kyren, Hurts, and McLaurin, or Bijan, AR5, and Dell. Kyren, Hurts, and McLaurin. Give me Bijan, AR5, and Dell for the rest of the season. But that's a close one, too. All right, we're getting closer to knocking some of these super chats out. Appreciate you guys. Trade Neighbors for JT and Bowers. I would rather have JT and Bowers, I think, but that's close. Trade away Higgins and or Terry for Dell. I'd trade either one for Dell. And just sent Stroud T away for Patty and JSN and 80 Mitchell. I like that. I like that. We got Jacob with a super chat here. Jacob, appreciate you. 0.5, do you trade Cup for Worthy? I would rather have Worthy right now. Cup is out such a long time, bro. That's my go-to. Worthy is a great buy low. London for BT and Zay. I'd rather have probably BT and Zay and then use one of them as trade bait. Jacobs and Ridley for Barkley. I'd rather have Barkley. Wide receivers, Jacobs, Worthy for Olave and Aaron Jones. I'd rather have Jacobs and Worthy by quite a bit. Drop Jahmyr or Dowdle for Jalen Wright. I'd rather have Jalen Wright. I don't know that I use the waiver claim on him because no one wants to pick him up, so be careful on that. Like, you can get him for free. Deebo and Dobbins for CD and White. I'd rather have CD Lamb because he's playing. Like that. Easy question. Think my $5 got burned, says Damien. Or buried. It might have got buried because we got, I thought it said burned. My screen's blurry sometimes when I drag a super chat over for a little bit. I don't know if it got buried, bro. We got a long line of them, right, guy? I'll pull it up for you. Okay, so Justin Jefferson and Tyler Johnson, or MHJ and J.K. Dobbins. Justin Jefferson and Tyler Johnson, or J.K. and Dobbins, and I get MHJ and J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, I'd rather have that side better. That's better. Thank you, pal, for the super chat. Again, sorry, guys, there is a long wait. I'm going through them as fast as I can. You can hear me reading these. I'm rattling these off as fast as I possibly can. But give quality advice, so I'm sorry about the delay. I promise you, I will get to it. CL Sports Cards, appreciate you. PPR, position 2, flex, Kyler White, Bucky, Allen Steele, Garendo, Rice, Wright, Garrett Wilson, London. Pacheco injury killed me. What do you do? White, Bucky. I don't know, bro. What do you do with this team? You did get crushed, man. Brooks and London for a St. Brown. Brooks and London for a big name player, bro. Wilson and Brooks for Jamar Chase. Swing big. Those would be moves that I would attack, bro. Getting a Jamar Chase or a St. Brown would be helpful. Especially Jamar Chase to get a big swinging, big dog. Gibbs. Smitty team is Hurts, Dell, Worthy, Ford. Suggestions, your 101. I'd maybe trade Rashad White. And I wonder if you could trade Rashad White and A.J. Brown for like a St. Brown, or A.J. Brown and Rashad White for a JT, who's struggling, or a Kyren, or AJB and Rashad White for Achane. Those are probably the best avenues for this team. Don't trade Worthy. Don't trade Laporta. Can't do much else. Can't sell Dell on the low. Can't even sell Hurts on the low at all. Don't do that. Murray, Bijan, Mason, MHJ, London. Nice. I like it. Thoughts on it making a trader stand down? I'd probably stand down more than anything, other than maybe exploring a Drake London and K9 for one big Jamar Chase, or higher, or slightly below that player. Past that, I like that team enough that I'm going to tell you in a nutshell, stand down. Trade Amon-Ra for Gibbs and Ayuk. I'd take Gibbs and Ayuk in a heartbeat. That's a lot of value. Smitty, think you missed my $5 hauler. Probably not firm, but let's look. Fern, Dynasty PPR. I bet you sent this after you waited a long time and then got it answered. Guys, I'm gonna get to them, I promise you. It's just if I check everybody's did you miss my super chat, it also slows down everything. Achane, Dobbins, McLaughlin, Hunt, Davis. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I read this one, but let me do it again for you, Fern. Dynasty PPR sold Garrett Wilson and B. Robinson for MHJ. And again, I love that trade. MHJ to the moon. It's fantastic. Garrett Wilson's very shaky right now. I love this trade, and rating your team, especially after that, I would say, it goes into the 8.0 mark. You're just waiting on Puka and Tank Dell to return to form. Reed and Dobbins right now for a player might be a smart move, Fern. That might be a real good move. Trade Dobbins before he gets injured in that situation. This one here, A.J. Brown for Bowers. I would take Bowers in a heartbeat just because. Well, no, never mind. You know what? AJ Brown might not be out that long. He's going to miss multiple weeks, but he might not miss that long. But if it's Dynasty, I want Bowers. I've got Ridley, Godwin, and Rice. I don't know. It depends who your tight end is, Bendu. If your tight end is nothing, I'd consider Bowers. But I think I'd probably hold AJB barely in that situation, just because he's not like he's out on IR, but if he goes on IR, you're going to want it. Gibbs, Achane, Rice, Andrews, Likely, Dobbins, Dell, Cooks. Trade away Chubb. Any trade advice or waiver wire ideas? I mean, obviously, you see the waiver wire board. I mean, these are waiver wire ideas. Get Allen, get Steele. They're fantastic players. If you've got Mason in any teams, you're going to go get Garendo. But as far as like this team, I'd say you're probably looking at either getting Dell in your lineup somehow if you believe in him. If you don't, I get it. But Smith and Dobbins for one Jamar Chase type player, for even a Kyren, even a JT or Barkley, and then you can get Dell in your lineup. That makes sense to me. I'm trading Dobbins and Smith for that all day long to get that monster Jamar Chase upgrade. It just makes sense to get Dell in there. I believe in Dell. Dell has 2 games back-to-back where he should have had a touchdown, and people just don't see it. They just look at the box score. Their box score Bobby. They're like, Dell sucks. Dell sucks because he didn't produce numbers. It's not Dell's a sucky receiver. If anybody thinks that, they aren't watching football. My Allen and Kyren for Gibbs and CD. I have AR5. If you have AR5, you got to get this done. Gibbs and CD Lamb all the way. Absolute smash. Absolute smash. Maybe send him AR5 and Kyren too. No, you could try and keep Josh Allen. You could go that route. I prefer that, but AR5 is still a great quarterback if you're left with that. That's a fantastic move. 10-man Murray, Bijan, Achane, Olave, Adams, Bowers, Neighbors, Brian Robinson Jr., and Dell on the bench. Trade B-Rob, I think you mean, and Malik for Jacobs and Reed. I'd probably rather have Neighbors and B-Rob over Jacobs and Reed by a hair, just because of the situation in Green Bay. You know what I mean? Like it's shaky there too. I know Malik doesn't have. Brian Robinson's playing good enough. It's pretty even. I kind of waver on that one a little bit. So go with your gut, or if the chat wants to weigh in. Trade Mason, Lamar for Bijan and Stroud from Vampy. Vampy, appreciate you. Trade Mason and Lamar for Bijan and Stroud. I'd rather have Bijan and Stroud by quite a bit, especially with Mason maybe having an expiration date at some point. This one here from Spencer. Appreciate you. Should I trade JD and Singletary for JMO and Aaron Jones? JD5. I have AR5. So you have AR5. I'd probably take JMO. Yeah, I'd take the JMO side. That's not bad. I think because you have quarterback covered, that makes sense to me. Got offered Henry for my car. I got CJ and AR5. Of course, go take Hunter Henry. Not that both of them are a lock to work out, but definitely Hunter Henry's playing well right now. 10 team, 2-0. Mahomes, Goff, Monty, JT, Kyren, Corum, Mason, AJ Brown, Moore, London, Worthy, JSN. You're good. You don't even need to make a trade, to be honest with you. I know you got hit with the AJ Brown situation. I get it. But your team's so good. You can maybe trade. You got JT and Kyren. You got Corum and Mason. I maybe go Monty and London, or Monty and DJ Moore, or Monty and AJ Brown for that Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, St. Brown move. 100% the only thing I would look to do. But I do looking at it right now, I would do that. I would try and figure out how to trade those 2 players for 1 player, just because you have such depth at running back with Mason. I got Hurts, Hall, Achane, Chase. Any positions I should upgrade. I mean, Chase and Waddle, Monty, McBride, Achane. No, this is a great team. I stand down with this team. You're just creating a hole in making maybe 2 holes by plugging 1. Drop Jalen Wright for Braylon Allen. I'd rather have Braylon Allen, but I'm telling you, I want both of them. If anything, I'm dropping my kicker and I'm grabbing both of them, bro. Just to buy time, let news hit. Who knows what happens between now and Sunday. Derrick Henry for Gibbs. I'd rather have Gibbs by a country mile, Brandon. It's not even close. Not even close, broski, at all. Let me see if there are any $20 super chats that have come flying in. I don't see any yet, so I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay. Okay, says, I'm in a pickle here, Smitty. Happy PPR, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Got Connor in the flex. Who do I start? Rice, Ayuk, or Wilson? I'm probably starting Rice. Call me crazy. Hard to sit Wilson, but Rice is my guy. I think he's going to do really well the rest of the season. But maybe you make a trade. I would probably tend to lean toward making a trade when you got that much depth. I don't mind having depth, but that much depth is crazy. Anthony Richardson, Bijan, Nico, McBride, Najee, Bench, Chase Brown, Cooks, Kirk, Puka on IR. What trade should you make? Maybe you can send Puka and Monty for 1 slightly better player like JT or Kyren or Achane, just because you can't trade Puka straight up for anything, but when you add that player to it and do a 2-for-1, it makes a lot of sense. I'm definitely interested in trading Najee and Monty together for 1 player. I'm definitely interested in trading either Najee and Kirk or Najee and maybe, what do we say? Najee and Puka. Yeah, so Puka, Najee, Puka, Najee, Puka, Monty. Maybe even all 3 to go get that JT, Kyren, Achane, Barkley type player. Or if you want to go wide receiver, you've got Nico already, so you could go after MHA is going to be hard to get at this point. You could go after maybe Rashee Rice using Puka, and I'd trade Puka and Najee for Rashee Rice and something. Personally, I would. I think he's that good. Chad, appreciate you. I have Breece Hall. Do I try and get on waivers Braylon Allen or go after KC running back? If you got Breece Hall, I'd go get Braylon Allen. And yes, we wear our sunglasses at night. Appreciate you, pal. Isaac, appreciate you. 10-man league. Hit that thumb up button, guys. We're about 15 away from 29,200. So 29.2K. If we could just get the 30% of the 1,000 people watching to hit that subscribe button. Stroud, Dell, Ridley, Barkley, Goddard, Gibbs, Kyren, Benches, Scary Terry, Pickens, Monty. Any moves for wide receiver upgrade? I don't know that I'm trading Barkley. I'm not trading Gibbs. I'm not trading Kyren. To be honest with you, the only thing you could do is trade Monty and Pickens, Monty and Scary Terry, Monty and Ridley, which I would do all those things to get an injured Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Jamar Chase. I would trade Monty and a bench wide receiver for Rashee Rice. I'd trade Monty and Pickens for Rashee Rice and something. I truly would. Rice is my favorite go-get player. Him and Worthy are just absolute ballers, ready to explode. And everybody that sleeps at the wheel on this is going to be absolutely dreading the day they watch him play going forward. Hurts, Kyren, Gibbs, Deebo, Rice, Jacob, Smith, McBride. I like this team. Mitch, Keon, Puka, Deebo, and Jacobs for Bijan or Chase. Puka, Deebo, and Jacobs, I think is what you didn't do any punctuation at all, gaming. I don't know where this ends and begins. This could be Mitchell, Keon, Puka, Deebo, and Jacobs for Bijan. You don't have any punctuation at all separating what's going on here. So I'm in the dark. I'm batting blind. I think you mean Puka as well. Puka, Deebo, and Jacobs. No, you got to mean Deebo and Jacobs. Deebo and Jacobs for Bijan. Yes. Deebo and Jacobs for Chase. Yes. Because of the injuries, you gotta probably do that, but it's close. Deebo and Jacobs is pretty good. So Bijan, I'd take Bijan. Some might say no to it. I don't know. Chat, would you rather have Deebo and Jacobs or Bijan? Deebo, rank the trio. Deebo, Jacobs has 1, Bijan or Chase. Can you rank that for gaming, please? Gaming, please use a comma. Oscar, you missed my super chat. I don't think I did. Oscar. This is wasting time. I swear, Oscar. How much fab for Braylon Allen? I'm pretty sure I got to that one. I don't know. The answer is I think he's a potential 9 out of 10 for being the best pickup of the year. He's only not a 10 because he's not starting. So you have to historically look at your league and figure out what is required to drop that. Oscar, appreciate your other $5 hauler here, which I think I got to as well. Any moves to make on this team? I think I did. I did attack this. Oscar, I did get to this. Okay. We got sidetracked there. I'm sorry. Oscar, take a lap. Thank you for the super chats, Oscar. Appreciate you, though. All right. I think you missed my super chat, Smitty. About 15 of those. Again, guys, I have so many super chats here. I'm trying to get to them as fast as I can. I'm not missing them. I'm just, by the time I get to it, you've already got a super chat saying that I didn't get to it. I'm trying my best. I'm on my horse. This is my super chat horse. I'm 0-2, and JD5 is killing me. Why is he killing you? Can you answer that to me? Roach, what are you talking about? Why is he killing you? How is he killing you? He was a top 4 quarterback through week 1, and he's only played 1 additional week. How is he killing you? Should I swing for a QB trade? JD5, Bijan, Ramondre, Stevenson, Mason, London, Coleman, McBride. I mean, I would trade JD5 and one of the tight ends, and I would trade whichever one gets me more to get a Hurts, a Josh Allen, or a potential Mahomes. I'd maybe trade JD5 and one of the tight ends to get AR5, but he's killing people too. I don't know that JD5 is hurting anybody. I think he comes out of week number 1 as a top 4 QB, and people are just like Roach, no offense, but are panic Peters and reactive Rodgers, overreactive Oscars. I mean, JD5 has played 1 game that should make you, he's killing me. He's been holding me back all year. We were in 2 weeks in. He was a top 4 quarterback in week 1, and he's been holding me back all year because of last week. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. DJ Moore. Oh, no. Where did I read that? It's not even DJ Moore. Is DJ Moore on here? DJ is his name. Okay. Hurts, Achane, Eckler, Davis, Garendo, Mostert, Wright, Diggs, Devontae Smith, Waddle, Higgins. Hopefully you get Mostert back here. Higgins, Judy. I don't know. Let's drop Wright for Steele. I don't know. I'd probably drop Judy, bro. I would keep Wright. Judy or Shakir. Are Judy and Shakir really going to save you? Wright could save you. Wright could win a league for you. Judy's not winning anything for you. So that's what I would do. And Waddle for what? St. Brown, give a little bit more. Jacobs, give a little bit more. JT, give a little bit more. Rashee Rice, try and get like a Dell or something a little bit more to be added to it. Tate with a super chat. Tate, appreciate you. Got an offer. Malik for McLaurin and Monty. No. Other ideas, Pickens and Barkley, Gibbs, AR5. I'm not touching. Neighbors, Worthy. I'm not touching that. I like this team, Dell. I actually like this team a lot. So if I'm trading maybe a Pickens and Ridley, or Ridley and Pickens, or it's hard to get rid of both of those. Brian Robinson Jr. with one of those wide receivers, go for a slight upgrade, to the Rashee Rice, to the ETN level would be a solid move. ETN's very underrated right now. Very cheap. I got offered my Metcalf and Eckler for Rashad White and Dell. No, I'm keeping Metcalf. I'd buy Dell, but buy Dell cheap or don't buy him at all. Devontae Smith and James Conner for Jamar Chase. I would take Jamar Chase personally. It's a pretty easy call for me, I think, honestly. Dobbins and JSN for Gibbs and Kirk. Give me Gibbs and Kirk all day long. Who to start at running back 2? Flex, Rice, ETN, Dobbins, Pollard, DJ Moore. I'm probably going Rice. I'm probably going Rice at the flex. And your running back, I mean, ETN and Dobbins is tough. I'd probably go ETN. Dobbins is hard to sit. I'd probably trade Dobbins if you're in that situation, or trade one of them. Who to start for a running back 2 and a flex? Rice, ET. Oh, that's the one I just... Okay, hold on a second. I just got rid of somebody's super chat. Damn it. Hold on, I think I can find it. There we go. London, where is that question at? Damn it. Where is it at? I just got rid of somebody's message. Son of a B. London for BT and Zay. Is that the one? London for BT and Zay. I'd rather have BT and Zay. I think I answered that one though. Where is Chris's super chat? Son of a B. I just closed it out. Who do I start at running back 2 and a flex? Rice, ETN, Dobbins. Okay, I answered that one. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you for dropping that super chat, Chris. This one, I might be able to identify by this one. Far. Dobbins, JSN for Gibbs. Maybe it's this one. It might have been this one. Yes, this is it. I found it. Okay, Nick, I almost nuked your super chat. Panicked waiver for me. 12-man. Have top waiver. Who do you grab? P. Ryan, Allen, Chase Brown, Steele, Jennings, Amir, Grendo. Don't want to waste it. I'm going Allen just because he's the only guy that gives me that 9 out of 10 vibe of being the best pickup of the year. And if he's starting for whatever reason, he becomes a Mason, 10 out of 10. Braylon Allen can win leagues. But if you need now production, Steele's the pick. I wish I could give you a firm answer, but it really is going to depend on all that, bro. Trade Mason for Rashee Rice. I'd rather have... Actually, I think it's pretty even. If you need a wide receiver, I'd take Rice. If you need a running back, I'd take Mason. It's pretty damn close. Roman Wilson and Whittington, breakouts coming. I don't know about Roman Wilson, bro, but I think Whittington definitely has that potential upside, no doubt about it. Should I trade Lamb for Kyren and Rice, or Walker and A.J. Brown? Don't trade for 2 injured players. Lamb for Kyren and Rice is fine, but I'm okay with keeping Lamb as well. But don't you dare go trade for 2 injured players. That's an absolute rookie move. Don't do that. That other one's nice. Trade help, rebuilding trash team. Josh Allen, Swift, Charbonnet, rookies, right. Tyreek, Adams. You got to trade Tyreek Hill, Puka, and Neighbors, Kirk. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe you try and shop Neighbors for something nice because he can get you a lot. But Puka injured, it's hard to trade injured. But maybe in Dynasty you can get rid of him. Adams, you should have sold Adams already. I'd probably try and get like a Tank Dell right now for him in Dynasty. Tyreek Hill, I'm trying to get like a Rashee Rice and something, or I'm trying to get maybe a doubted RB like JT right now, a doubted RB like Kyren. Those would be moves to make. And you throw in a Swift, you throw in a potential Kirk, Bucky Irving, even Kyle Pitts I'm throwing into the mix to do some sort of trade. So hard to say. We probably need to narrow it down to something because that's just a vague question with that team. Like if you come up with a couple ideas, throw them at me and we'll start tweaking them. I'd be trading for Tyreek Hill and giving up Dell and Madison. Well, you'd be getting Tyreek Hill then. Even with no Tua, would it be a decent deal? Absolutely be a decent deal. 100%. Half PPR. Trade Josh Allen, backup Fields, and Michael Pittman for Garrett Wilson. Trade Josh Allen? Trade Josh Allen and Pittman for Garrett Wilson and Derrick Henry? I'm not trading Josh Allen. Derrick Henry, I don't know what he is. Garrett Wilson's playing like crap, bro. I know Michael Pittman Jr. has been missing on a milk carton like I predicted he would probably be, but he could return a little bit to form. I'm not trading Josh Allen. I'm just not doing it. Henry, I don't know what Henry is. I mean, that's a tough one because Fields is your backup, but like Garrett Wilson, as much as I want to believe in Garrett Wilson, I don't know. Chat, what are we doing here? Garrett Wilson and Derrick Henry. It's almost like this is a tough question to answer because draft value wise says do this, right? If you're in a draft, Garrett Wilson and Derrick Henry they're getting drafted ahead of Josh Allen. The problem is Josh Allen goes in a whole different territory of value once kickoff happens. You know? Keep Josh Allen, Garrett Wilson. I don't think trading Josh Allen's the right move for this team. Alex, appreciate your super chat. Alex, you're the man, the myth, the legend. Here we go. Super chat. Trade ideas stand down. Mahomes, Brees, Gibbs, Puka, Devontae Smith, Dell, J-Mo. I'm standing down on this one. Unless you're trading away Puka for a Rice, Puka for a Worthy, you know, assuming it's redraft, then I will consider that because Puka's out a while, bro. Worthy's going to be worth it, I'm telling you. Would you trade away Jamar Chase and receive CMC and Deebo? Why are you trading for injured players? Why, Ian, this is the second time you've asked me. Why? Do you have a wish of disaster? Do you like a train going off the tracks? Why would you trade a healthy Jamar Chase for CMC and Deebo? I don't know if you sent this twice or if that's even the same one, but no, Ian, no. No. Esteban, half PPR, JSN or Steele. I'm going Steele. Or Shaheed. If you need a wide receiver, Shaheed's been busting out. But I probably lean towards Steele because I'm a running back waiver wire kind of guy. Bench Spears. Yeah, I definitely go that route. But there are a lot of people that are Shaheed believers right now that love him that would tell you otherwise. So trust your gut. I'm not saying it's wrong to go either direction, but I'm going to go Steele. Brock Purdy, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan, Nico Flowers, Mark Andrews, Jalen Warren, A.J. Brown, and I'm trying to trade Waddle and A.J. Brown somehow. A.J. Brown might not miss a ton of time, so be careful trading him away. But Mark Andrews and let's say Flowers, keep Bijan and Nico and Taylor, and trade Brock Purdy using Waddle to a top 3 QB. You got Dak, so you could even throw Dak in there over Brock. Throw Dak into your lineup, so then you don't even necessarily need to upgrade your quarterback. Or trade Dak and Waddle for a top 3 QB. I'd still do that. Jamison Williams and Dak for even AR5. J-Mo and maybe Flowers, or Andrews and Flowers, or Waddle and Andrews for Jamar Chase, St. Brown. Rinse and repeat. 12 team, JD5, Kyren, Gibbs, Walker, London, J-Mo, Cooper, Laporta. Maybe trade Cooper and potentially Walker, or J-Mo and Walker for one better player, and think JT, Gibbs, Kyren, Achane, Barkley. Best move you can make. Smitty, I think you missed my super chat. Gaming, I swear I did not. The answer is no. Gaming, I got it. I know I did. I know I read your super chat. Would you trade Rice and Devontae Smith for CD and Reed? I'd rather have CD Lamb and Reed by quite a bit. That's an easy one. This one here is from Ryan, 16-man league, rank waivers. Thoughts on Pierce and Foreman? No real concern at all. I'm not going after them. Steele, Foreman, P. Ryan, Bigsby. I go after Steele. Steele or P. Ryan, or both of them. Garendo is probably my third, tied with Whittington. And McMillan's pretty good too, but I would probably go with Steele if it's me, unless Braylon Allen's out there. Traded Kupp and Connor for Gibbs and Garrett Wilson before the IR news. Traded Kupp and Connor for Gibbs and Garrett Wilson. Fantastic job. That's an absolute smash home run. Nice work. Aaron, appreciate you. Just traded JD5 Pitts and BT for Kincaid, Stroud, and McConkey. Smash. Love it. Love it. Absolute crush it. I offered Waddle B. Robinson Jr. for Lamb. Approve? Absolutely. Of course I would do that one. You do that, we all quit our jobs and come work for you. 12-team PPR. How do I improve? Dak, Hall, Javonte, Nico, Olave, Pitts, DJ Moore, bench. And just, can I give you guys some advice real quick? If you super chat me saying I missed your super chat, the best thing to do is repost the question versus say that, because then I got to comb through and find it. And then 90% of the time, I've already attacked it. So if I were you, I'd if you're going to do that, put the question in again. It's 12-team PPR. I appreciate you. I'm not mad at anybody. You guys are super chatting me. I'm grateful. I may not sound grateful. This is my resting face. Dak, Hall, Javonte, Nico, Olave, Pitts, DJ Moore. Bench is Reed, JSN. The 4X is for $20 wad. I'm in Mexico. Okay, is this, I don't know what the conversion is. If this is a $20 hauler, I apologize if I waited. I don't know the conversion on this. Maybe the combined makes 20. I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. How to improve this? Hall, Javonte. I'm not trading Nico, not trading Hall. I'm trading Olave and DJ Moore. I'm trading Amari Cooper. I'd trade Reed. I guess I would try and go get JT. I'd try and go get maybe a Kyren. And I think they're affordable using a DJ Moore, Olave, Amari. Maybe all, I don't know. Trading, the problem is you don't have, like Javonte, no one's taking Javonte. And usually to get a big dog like Chase or something, you've got to give up an RB and a wide receiver. Very rarely can you give up a DJ Moore and Olave, 2 wide receivers. You keep Nico to go get, and keep Reed to go get 1 running back. However, maybe JT, maybe a running back like ETN's possible. So Olave and Javonte, or Olave and DJ Moore for ETN. ETN's like one of the only running backs that makes sense for that, though. Really, is kind of a tough spot to be in because you got nothing to throw back RB wise. Javonte, that's not really anything. I meant Derrick Henry for Carr. I got AR5 and Stroud. Derrick Henry for Carr. If you're getting Derrick Henry for Carr, Derrick Henry side by a country mile. But it's almost something, if you got vetoes, that's going to get vetoed. Because that's crazy. Not saying Carr isn't playing well, but that's a rookie mistake to be like, oh, I'm going to trade for Carr off this 2-week high. I'm cooked. I lost Deebo, Pacheco, Cup. Rest of my team is Mahomes, Bijan, Ford, Dell, JMO, Pitts. You're not cooked. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. I mean, try and trade maybe Cup and, I don't know, Cup and, you can't really make it. You can't, Cup and Ford for like, you go after a potential ETN Walker, maybe. He's injured, but maybe Cup and Ford for Monty, and Monty just gives you the right amount of support. Rashee Rice, Ford and Cup for Rashee Rice. I think, you got to do a 2-for-1 to get rid of Cup. Otherwise, no one's taking him 1-for-1. But you water it up, you muddy it up, you make it hard to see if you give them 2 players. Josh Downs or Alec Pierce, should I stash him? I'd rather go with these other waiver wire guys. You can see the rank right here. Pause the video right now if you're watching this, pal, and grab one of those wide receivers that's ranked above them. I don't think those are the greatest options. Pierce is okay. He's been consistent, but do I trust he continues? I don't know. He's pretty good, though. He's decent. If that's the best wide receiver and all those other guys are gone, then I Smitty approved picking him up. But Smitty need help immediately. 12-team QB, high score points. Stroud, Jacobs, Monty, Godwin, Pacheco, Deebo, Pickens, Bigsby, Hopkins, Spears. There's not a lot you can move, bro. Jacobs, I don't even know if you can trade Jacobs for all that much right now. That's really hard to say. He had a bad, mediocre week 1. He had a good week 2. Not sure if people will overpay for him, though. Godwin could be sold on the high. Deebo, and maybe you could go Deebo and Jacobs for a Gibbs or something. You could go Pickens and Jacobs for a Gibbs or Hall or something like that. You could go Godwin and maybe someone buys Pacheco if you're throwing Godwin in and you go after a St. Brown or a Jamar Chase. Something along those lines. Pickens and Jacobs for Pickens and Jacobs for a JT if you believe in him. Gibbs, Hall, Bijan. Bijan would be a great player using Godwin and maybe Jacobs, Bijan, and something. I wonder if you could get something back. I wonder if you go to the Tank Dell owner, see if they've got one of those players that I just read off. That would be pretty wild if you could get Tank Dell in there thrown in. Waiver spot on Shaheed or Judy to replace Deebo. Shaheed by a mile. Judy's not even, I wouldn't even pick him up. $20 hauler from Justin. Appreciate Justin dropping the wad on screen. There you go, pal. I'm coming for you. 1 second. Just hang tight. Mr. Out of the Box, I got your super chat right here. Hang tight. I'm going to swing back around in a second. And then Michael, appreciate your $20 hauler. Got you right there, pal. Hang tight. This one right here from OK. I was going to answer this one real quick. Start Rice, Ayuk or Rice. What? PPR Rice, Ayuk or Rice. Start 2. What the hell? I don't know. I think you meant to put somebody else, bro. Connor at the flex. I'd rather have Rice over Ayuk, if that answers your question. Crazy PPR flex Pickens or JMO or JSN. I'm going to go JMO. All right, down to these super chats here by these three $20 hauler peeps right here. And then Hernandez dropped to 20 as well. Let me put that right here. Hernandez, I'm going to come for your super chat in a second. Hang tight, hang tight, hang tight. And I think that's all the 20s for right now. Justin, appreciate you. Joined the live chat. Thank you. The Patreon, appreciate you joining that Patreon. The link is in the live chat pinned. If anybody wants to join the Patreon, it's a fantastic place to extend this live chat from YouTube 365 24/7. First ever super chat on YouTube. I had to trade Jaden Reed for Mason. Still have Puka. I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. Mason for Reed, you got to steal. You can't get Mason for that price tag right now. That's awesome. MHJ, Waddle, Coleman have CMC, Mason, J.K. Dobbins. You got a really good team. I'd trade Aaron Jones right now. You got Josh Allen at QB. That's awesome. Trade Aaron Jones or J.K. or both of them potentially for that. You know, if you could trade 2 RBs for one, you're going after Kyren, Achane, JT, Gibbs, etc. But if you trade maybe one of them, keep CMC Mason. You did a great job there. Maybe you're trading one of JK or Aaron Jones with Waddle to upgrade to St. Brown or Jamar Chase. I would give JK and Waddle for Jamar Chase. That might be a sweet move for your team. And you could also do Puka, and no one's going to take Puka straight up, but Puka and Aaron Jones, or Puka and maybe a wide receiver like Waddle, or I'm sorry, running back like Dobbins. So Puka and Dobbins for a JT, Gibbs, etc. Appreciate your super chat, my guy. Hernandez with a 20 says PPR traded away Walker, Sharps, Ford for Gibbs. That's a smash. Love Kyren. Nice job. Absolutely great job. Mitchell, how did I do? You did great. Feel like I'm one move away. I think you're pretty solid right now. I don't know that I'm trading away Garrett Wilson on the low. I'd maybe think about shipping him off if I could do a 2-for-1 and just kind of upgrade Garrett Wilson, but I don't think you've got much depth to do anything. So you're probably holding Gibbs, Kyren, Garrett Wilson, Pitts, and then, yeah, you're kind of waiting. Let Scary Terry have a big bounce back. Keep Mitchell. I like AD Mitchell. Keon Coleman should have a good day. There's not much to move. I think your trade was outstanding, but my advice would be to stand down. Lost Deebo and Cup. That's brutal. Mahomes, Bijan, J-Mo, Rashee Rice. He's still got a good team. Devontae Smith, B-Rob. You're doing good, McBride. Bench Garendo. Really good team. I would say let it ride. Let those guys come back. Unless you could trade one or both of them for I would trade Cup. Cup and B-Rob, or Deebo and B-Rob for a slightly better RB to the ETN, JT, Achane, Kyren, Gibbs, St. Brown, Jamar Chase variety. You know, and I think you're going to maybe have someone look at that. B-Rob's had that goat of a year so far. It's potentially possible. It's not out of the question. $20 hauler. What's up, Smitty? 2-0. Nice job. St. Brown, Mahomes, Neighbors, Rice, Achane, Jahmyr, Odunze, Spears, Wicks. Like the team. Moves? Probably not, man, unless you're trading Brooks, and let's call it, I don't know. I like your squad. I don't think there's Brooks and Jahmyr, Brooks and Spears, like that. There's not much. Dell, like whatever. I'd have Dell. I'd throw Dell in there. Dell's probably the cheapest buy low that I see a team like that taking advantage of. Other than that, there's not much you can trade. You don't have any depth, and I like all those players, so why trade them? Kyler, Mason for Mahomes, and Neighbors / Worthy. So I think you're getting all three. So Kyler and Mason for Mahomes. I'm taking Neighbors, Mahomes, and Worthy in a heartbeat. That's a solid trade. James with his team here. What's a good offer for Chase? I would probably say Mason and Reed. I would say Waddle and maybe Godwin for Chase, and you'd throw in something like Reed. I don't know that you got the RBs to necessarily throw in because you only have, like, I would do Mason for Chase straight up. I would do something small, maybe Mason and Reed, maybe for Jamar Chase, but that's it. And there's no running backs that you can throw in past that, so it's kind of hard to do a RB trade. So I'm probably just gonna say you're doing Godwin and something, or Waddle and something, but not using those RBs. Yeah, that's a tough one. Jamar Chase would be a great addition, but do not trade your big monsters, bro. Longest wait for a super chat and worth it. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, Isaac. I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about it, but I can't. I'm going as fast as I can. I really am. You know, it's like I think I'm reading like a 100 to 200 page novel, you know, with all these super chats. Bowers and Josh Jacobs for Breece Hall. I'm reading more in one live stream than I read in my entire college. You know, in my entire 4-year degree, in my entire grad degree. I literally am reading more in one freaking live stream than I ever did in either of my degrees. Bowers and Josh Jacobs for Breece. Breece Hall by a mile. By a mile, Oscar. By a mile. Appreciate you. This one's from Team Zero. Appreciate you. 12 team QB scoring high. Stroud. Oh, I did that one. Yeah. Thank you, Zero. Appreciate you. This one from G. Devontae Smith, Charbonnet, JSN, Warren for Deebo, Dell, Singletary. I'm keeping the Devontae Smith side because I don't want to trade for an injured package there. No one likes an injured package. Nobody. Not on my watch. You only read half of my super chat. Who should I drop for steal or the team I laid out? Love you. Esteban, you're killing me. I know you're going to say I'm killing you, but Esteban. Let's see how right you are. Half PPR, get JSN or Steele or Shaheed and use the fab. How much fab? I don't know how much fab to use. You can only know that by what's the highest somebody's bid this year. I would use that amount or go a little higher. Charbonnet, bench. It's not that I didn't. I mean, you want me to read your team off? There's no other question here. Have JT, Charbonnet, St. Brown, Olave, Harrison, Devontae Smith, bench, Spears, Dowdle, Warren, Chandler, Brian Thomas Jr., Mostert. There, I read your entire super chat. But Esteban, I mean, I answered this question. I'd rather have Steele if you need an RB, but I'm not against Shaheed. But fab dollars, I can't give you a number. I'll be totally guessing. You have to go to your league. There are leagues I'm in that you pay 100 out of 100 if you want anybody. And then there's leagues where they laugh at you if you spend more than 20 out of 100. And you put a $40 drop and you see the highest bids and it's like 12. And you're like, damn it, everyone makes fun of you. Esteban. Rhino, here's my super chat. No tricks. Thank you, Rhino. Appreciate you. That'd be hilarious if he didn't type it all in. He's trying to get it answered. Thank you. Appreciate you. Drop McLaurin or 80 Mitchell to get Steele or Hunt. I get Steele, and I'd probably drop, I guess, 80 Mitchell. I'm not ready to drop McLaurin yet. McLaurin's a monster still in the making. It's just, look, JD5 hasn't been throwing touchdowns yet. Once that happens, he'll get them. Should I trade Kincaid, Cup for Ayuk and Laporta? I'd rather have Ayuk and Laporta. They're healthy, bro. You know, it just comes down to that. You can't trade for injured players. Kyren and Laporta for Bijan. I'd rather have Laporta and Kyren. I meant to say Wilson. LOL. Love you, Smitty. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay. At this point, I don't know what we're talking about, though. Should I try and buy low on Coleman? You don't need to. He's waiver wire fodder. So, I mean, no, I don't. I mean, depends on what you're talking about. Buy low, like a player you might drop, sure. But Coleman is waiver wire fodder. I love him. I pick him up if I can hold him. But, Smitty, who do I start for Deebo? Have Brian Thomas Jr. or do I go get JSN? You start. Brian Thomas Jr. has been doing great, bro. Like, well, how has he offended you so much? This guy's ripping off big plays constantly. BT, man, BT. I like JSN. I don't not pick him up, but BT's been going crazy. 12-team PPR Superflex. Josh Allen, Stroud. Great quarterbacks. Connor, Rashad White, Ramondre, CD, Godwin, McBride, got likely. Maybe you're trading one of those tight ends, bro. Demarcus Robinson, Keenan Allen. I'm trading Keenan Allen the first chance I get. Keenan Allen and Ramondre. Connor and Keenan Allen. Rachaad White and Connor. Rachaad White and Ramondre. Go get JT. Go get ETN's even in the mix right here. I think Rachaad White, Ramondre, you could keep Ramondre. Rachaad White and Keenan Allen for ETN. Rachaad White and Keenan Allen for Jacobs. Rachaad White and Keenan Allen for, God, Kamara would have been nice last week, wouldn't it? Monty's even a safer player than maybe Rachaad White. Rachaad White and Keenan Allen for Monty. Throw in Likely. Throw in a tight end, and maybe you can upgrade this into a potential ETN. JT's a great buy low. Great buy low. I meant for start 2, Ayuk, Rice, or Wilson. I'm going to start Wilson and Rice right now. But Ayuk is going to be a tough sit this week. It's hard to sit him. But, like, you need to make a trade. Trade Ayuk and somebody for another player. Would you trade Lamb for Chase and Eckler? I'd rather have Lamb. Eckler's nothing. Lamb's the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy. Why would I trade him for Chase? Eckler's nothing. You're not getting anything from that. Keep Lamb. Smitty for running back limit. Gibbs, Achane, Mason, Wright. Allen, Steele, Garendo are available. Do you move Wright? I would probably for Steele, but monitor Wright because the running backs are limited. He'll be out there. Coleman or JSN, probably JSN right now. But yeah, in a limited running back situation, bro, you can drop Wright, but just monitor him, bro. But Steele's probably the ad. What moves do I make? 12-man, Mahomes, Gibbs, Bijan. I like this. Devontae Smith, Rice. It's a really good team. I'm going to say stand down. There's nothing to trade. You got nothing on the bench that's going to get you anything. And you'd have to trade your starters, which I don't want you to trade. I like your 2 running backs. I love your 2 wide receivers. I love Mahomes. I'm going to say stand down, Nev. It's not something I would move. Fire TV, appreciate your $9.99. What do we got here? We got 12-team. Patty, Alvin Kamara, Bijan, Ayuk, Tank Dell, Worthy, Laporta. Fantastic team. Trade Laporta and Tank Dell for Jamison, Williams, and Corum. Absolutely not. No, bro. I like JMO, but no. Trash. Take a lap. Yes. Go get top 10 tight end Gesicki. Trade Laporta and Tank for JMO and what? You're wanting Laporta in this deal. So if you have him and you listed him, absolutely not. Roll with JMO, Ayuk, and Worthy. I love JMO, Ayuk, and Worthy. I mean, that's a good it's actually a pretty good trio. It's crafty. But do I try and maybe trade like Ayuk and I don't know. I don't think you got much to trade though on the bench. So, I mean, from what I have, the information I have here, I'm going to say stand down on all counts. Just walk away from the computer, bro. Don't do it. Esteban, I'm back, baby. Who should I drop for Steele? Is this your super chat that we missed? I'm back, baby. Esteban's back with another super chat. I love it. This guy's got thick skin. I get mad at him because he said I missed a super chat. He comes back immediately with a $10 hauler. Most resilient person in the biz. I'm back, baby. Who should I drop for Steele? I have Mostert, Taylor, Charbonnet, Amon-Ra, Lave. Well, I don't know why we're listing these guys. Dowdle, Chandler, Spears, B. Thomas. I'll probably say Dowdle. Drop Dowdle. I doubt he'll do anything. And then you can monitor him, and if he does anything, you can pick him back up. Nathan with a $20 hauler, and then Alex with his $10. Let's go to Nathan real quick. I know you're confident about Kyren, but I'm getting skeptical with the O-line being unhealthy. Look, I can't control that things have gotten bleaker because of the injuries to the star 2 wide receivers and the entire offensive line. So would I draft Kyren exactly where I drafted him before draft day? No. Would I value him exactly where I had him? No. But under the certain circumstances we've been dealt with all the injuries, he definitely feels like he's still exactly where he needs to be in terms of his current value assessment. So I get what you're saying, but skeptical, what are we going to do? What are we going to trade him for? People know what time it is. They know his line's down, his wide receivers are down. They will lean on him heavily, and he could get hurt and miss 2, 3, 4 games because he's going to get overworked. So make sure you got Corum like you should, and make sure you go get Ronnie Rivers right now just to make sure. Gibbs, Kyren, DK, Rice, Pickens, Waddle, McBride, Swift. I'd trade Swift and Pickens for one player. Swift and Waddle for one player. Go to the JT owner. Go to the ETN owner. Go to the Gibbs, the Kyren, or the Achane owner. If I read off one of your players, just read them off. Gibbs, you got Gibbs. So fantastic team. For the most part, I'm standing down except for that move, Nathan. But yeah, I mean, I'm not happy about what's going on, but I'm certainly not getting rid of Kyren on the low. I think he still gets overfed like a madman. Shakir for Worthy, I take Worthy 1,000 times over. Like, easiest question I've had all night. Worthy's my favorite go-get, one of my favorite go-get players. Fields, Love, or Carr. Love long-term, for sure. But, you know, Carr for right now, I guess he's earned that even over Fields. He kind of got to go that direction. And that's the last super chat. We're caught up. I'm down 0-2. Help is needed. If I missed your super chat, let me know now, because now I did miss it if I didn't get to it. But I bet you just went to the bathroom. Bench is Jaleel, Deebo, Garendo, Bucky. Placed Allen and Yoshivas. Yeah, I definitely put a lot of fab on Allen. Dak, Javonte Williams, Olave, B-Rob. No offense, but it's got some struggle bus to it, you know, especially with the Deebo injury. Keep JJ, I guess, unless you can get you might have to trade JJ, actually. Trade JJ for a running back and Rice. Go trade JJ for Gibbs, Kyren, or Achane. I don't know if Gibbs, Kyren, or Achane with a receiver, like a Dell or a Rice or a Worthy. That's probably what I would do. Deebo and maybe B-Rob for ETN, JT, Kyren, Achane, Gibbs. You got to add somebody to Deebo in order to get it done. B-Rob would be perfect. Throw in Pacheco. God, injuries are just absolutely asinine. It's crazy how many injuries have taken out people. Subscribe if you're new. We're almost at 29.2K. We need just like 11 subscribes to get to 29.2K. So subscribe if you're new. You found your new channel, I promise you. People need to stop panicking, says Gilberto. Appreciate you. Wentworth says, I think you missed mine. I'll look, Wentworth. I don't know, bro. I'll look for you right now. Trade ideas: Mahomes, Dobbins, Mason, Connor, Pollard, CMC, Godwin, Addison. Go get keep Mason and CMC. Get Grendo. Make sure you have Grendo. Mahomes, Dobbins. I like this team. I mean, maybe like I don't know if you can make any trades, man. Because what are you gonna do? You can't trade a running. Maybe trade Connor. Yeah, maybe trade Connor and Godwin for that JT, Kyren, Achane, Barkley. ETN's even a thought, but like maybe you get something else back, because Connor and Godwin for ETN's not. It's too much. But like maybe you get somebody else back. Maybe a Diggs and a Connor for a monster top 5 guy. You could go after Jamar Chase. You could roll with Mason and CMC and Dobbins, and you could trade Pollard and Connor, or Connor and Pollard, and go Diggs and go get Jamar Chase. Maybe a little less to get Amon-Ra St. Brown. My mind. You know what I'm saying? Do I get Braylon Allen even if I don't have Brees? Absolutely. He's a league winner, my guy. He's an absolute league winner. Potentially in the making. I mean, he's got to get into the lineup, which we don't want. I'm just saying, rags to riches potential. Cup, Evan. What's this say? Cup, Evan, Hurt. Weather the storm or make a move. Evan Hurt? You mean Ingram? But I mean, I don't know, Young. I mean, it depends on your situation. Like, I definitely look to trade Cup for Rice, or trade Cup for like a running back like Jacobs, or Cup and something significant for a doubted JT. I mean, those are definitely things I like to do. Hurts, Kamara, Mason, Bowers, Amon-Ra, JSN, Stevenson, AJ Brown, Cup, Laporta, Mitchell. Do we think I need to make a move? I'm trading Brian Robinson Jr. on the high with JMO. I'm trading AJB and Brian Robinson Jr. for Chase, St. Brown. I'm trading, again, you can't trade AJB Hurt unless you combine him with somebody. But B-Rob Jr. is pretty good to do that with. I'm keeping Mason, keeping Hurts, keeping Kamara, keeping Bowers, keeping Amon-Ra. I said Amon-Ra, you have him, but you know what I'm saying. Stevenson, I'd be tempted to trade AJ Brown and Stevenson for a Gibbs, Kyren type of move. A Chase, easily. Those are definitely moves I would make. And Chef coming in with the last super chat to catch up. Just got sent Dell for DJ Moore. Honestly, I'd rather have Dell. And you can say what you want about that. I don't care. I mean, I don't think DJ Moore's got a lot of value right now. I mean, if you think you can get more, try. Wentworth says, my Allen and my Kyren for Gibbs and CeeDee Lamb. I have AR5. I did answer this one. I remember. They said, because you got that QB situation, you got to do this. Gibbs and CeeDee Lamb all the way. You took a little potty break, Wentworth. I know you did. You said, I think you missed my super chat. What you meant to say is, I think I went and took a leak, and I came back and missed it. I'm sorry, Smitty. But I appreciate Wentworth to the moon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a 3-hour and 15-minute show. I may be back tonight to do drafting. I'm not positive, but I'll try my best. Gaming, appreciate you. JD5, Bijan, Gibbs, Mixon, and MHJ, Neighbors, Ayuk, Dell, 80 Mitchell, Keon, Rome. Drop Algier for Love. Sure. Definitely. Love's a great ad. Then pick up Allen and drop Wright. For now, I'm okay with that for sure. Try to for Kyren and pick up Corum. I like that too. I mean, if you got to pick up Corum and you got to pick up Wright or drop Wright for Benson. I'd rather have Benson. Benson's a league winner. So is Wright though. They're both very, very good. Kyren, Corum. I don't know what you're asking here, really, because there's a lot of I don't want to say gibberish at the end here. Drop Wright to pick up Benson, try 2 for Kyren, and pick up Corum. I don't know what that means, try 2. What's try 2 mean, Magic? I would say if I'm ranking these, because I don't have any other information here, I'd say Allen for sure, league winner. Benson, probably second up, and then Wright, and then probably Corum in that order, as far as league winners go. Appreciate you, Magic. Magic to the moon. Magic, appreciate you, pal. I'm out of here. Thank you to my mods. Thank you, Sick Nasty. Thank you, Space Ricky. Thank you, Travis, of course. Thank you, Vampy, if he's in here. Blackbeard. Is Blackbeard in here? I feel like I haven't seen Blackbeard in the chat today. I could be wrong on that. Thank you, Kenny Powers, if you're out there. Terry Roberts, appreciate you all. Frankie coming in with a final super chat. Wad, Frankie. Trade London for Ayuk. I'd rather have, I guess... sell high in Godwin. I would sell high in Godwin, but it depends what you mean. Like ETN or JT or sure. London or Ayuk, I'd probably rather have, I guess. Hey, chat, what are we doing? London or Ayuk, please? London or Ayuk, please? Tank Big Butt. I don't know who Tank Big Butt is. Tank Big Back? Who's Tank Big Back Butt? Is that Tank Dell or Tank Bigsby? Is Tank Bigsby got a caboose, or what are we talking about there? Sell high on Godwin, yes. Ayuk or London, chat, please vote. London, 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 London. London it is. And I kind of agree. And the chat definitely influences me when I see that. It makes me excited. Tank Bigsby. I guess Tank Bigsby's got a big back. I don't know what we're doing there with this Tank Big Butt. It's going crazy. Silver Rapture, we'll see you later. Silver in the building. Thank you all. See you all later. Appreciate all your super chats. I will be back. Somebody said there's some celebratory messages. We've got Bella, check yourself, and Mark with the 2 celebratory messages. Trade Scary Terry and Bucky Irving for Waddle. Definitely take Waddle in a millisecond. Bella, check yourself. Come on now. You know better. Drop 1, Javonte, Wright, or Chase Brown. No Achane. I would keep Wright. I don't care so much on the other one. I'd probably drop Javonte. I don't trust that situation. Thank you for those celebratory messages. I will see you all later. Appreciate you. Watch the beginning of the video if you missed it for any reason for the top buys of week number 3. Deuces. Subscribe if you're new, guys. We just need a couple more subscribes to get 29.2K. We're on our way to 30K. We should hit 30K by the weekend easy. Thanks to you guys. I work for you.
Hi. What would you like?
Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please.
Coming up.
He's Marvin,
He's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but Starvin' Marvin will answer the call. What is a Lionheart?
I am him. When times get tough, they call on a beast. That beast rises up and starts to feast. Carson Steele will sharpen and do his part, because he, the beast, is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart. He is the Lionheart.
Mr. Miyagi says, can you check my super chat? Miyagi, I hear you. Miyagi-san. Kyren, Hurts, McLaurin, or Bijan. I answered this one. You guys, I don't expect you to sit here all day and wait for some of these super chats, so I'm not mad at you. I hope you know that. I'm sorry that you probably stepped out for this one. I did answer it, but it's a long wait. So Kyren, Hurts, McLaurin. I said Bijan, AR5, and Dell. I'm going Bijan, AR5, and Dell. It's a solid side. They're both very good. I wouldn't trip out if you did either side, if you had either side of that trade. It's a really close call, bro. Very close call. Very, very, very close call.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah, we have to. Let's go. Start the procedure.
Masonites, assemble.
Let's see here. Hold on, Mr. Miyagi. I got you covered here, but I think I just answered your question, right? I super hated, I think you mean super chatted, and did not get answered, I think. Big trade, had a question. Did you see me put it on the screen, Mr. Miyagi? I think you're behind, bro. I think you're like, you paused it, you took a little tinkle, and you came back and you don't know that you're on a 5-minute delay or something like that, because I just answered it. I think I got you covered, bro. So anyway, appreciate you, Miyagi-san. And anyway, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Hopefully Miyagi catches up and sees that I answered him. I answered him twice, too. But that's right, Miyagi-san. You're probably cutting the bonsai trees outside, and you missed it. Which is understandable. Those bonsai trees take a long time to cut. Three-and-a-half-hour show. Good Lord.
Achane. Achane is the man.
His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
Hey, Denny, call in real quick. Denny, call in real quick. Denny, call in. People shouldn't leave this stream until it ends. They should know better. We got 549 people in here. About 300 or 400, 500 people bailed. And they shouldn't have bailed. Denny, call in. Denny, call in. I need a little Denny fix.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. These outlaws are on the run. Smitty, can I just ask you one thing? Can we do karate in the grass? They're wanted. Dead or alive.
Real quick, Denny. Real quick. I'm waiting for the phone call, Denny. He was watching. I just saw his comment about maybe 2 seconds before I flipped it back over. He said, bonsai trees. And I forgot, Denny. And Travis, you want to call in real quick? I don't know if anybody was Rock Out usually calls in. And real quick questions. I'll be here for just like 2 minutes. Here's Denny. Denny, here we go, Denny. Denny, I appreciate you calling in. Did you want to comment or have anything you want to say before the show ends?
I told him I like the bonsai.
Bonsai tree.
I think the bonsai is funny as hell. Oh, hold on. Let me turn it down.
Yeah, here in the background. He's not prepared. Come on, Denny, son. Denny, son.
Smitty?
Yeah, Denny, son, what's up?
Wanted. I find you excellent. The top most wanted outlaw. Wanted.
Bonsai, son. All right, Denny. Anything else? Can I get a week 3 prediction? Go ahead, hurry.
Oh, someone's got to do good. So bad.
Yeah,
How about, I'll take Richardson, all right?
Okay. Anthony Richardson. How many touchdowns?
Yeah, everyone hates him? Yeah, I like him. Yeah.
How many touchdowns?
2 passing, 1 rush.
Attaboy, 3 touchdowns, 3 tutties. You heard it. All right, Denny, appreciate you, bro. I'm out of here.
Hey, Manny, yeah. All right, hey, thanks for letting me call back in. You know I love you, buddy.
All right, later, bro.
Wanted. Because they're wanted. Dead or alive.